bang, and there it is, right on cue.
How's that? Less straight to Davis. How good was that?
We about to make a round. We've got to make this count. Take the ball and raise it now. Make noise, you're crazy loud. It's all moment, let me hear.
Jake Tucker's taken off.
Outstanding. Glenunga certainly have a great
Soup, you're outstanding, man. Well done. Congratulations on the flat.
Oh,
a bin chicken.
Your 2024 premiers, the Port District Football Club. Congratulations, you legends. You are the best team.
Well, g'day footy fans and welcome here to for a massive clash between Glenunga and St Peters. It is going to be a fun game of footy, that is for sure. Spock, they've been really good in season 2025. They have barely lost a game, but they do face a massive challenge today. Glenunga, can they get it done? The Rams of 2024 are also good. We've seen it in patches in 2025. Will it come out today? Will they cause an upset? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to find out. We can't do this without our sponsors. A massive thanks to Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, Custom by RTC, Dartfish, Archies, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. With thanks to Filming Footy, this is the Adelaide Footy League.
Galano in the pocket.
G'day footy fans, Lockie Gould joined by Adam Jeffries. Adam, how are you?
Yeah, good to be back. I've had a couple of weeks off, a little bit of a winter vacation, but yeah, excited to be back. Should be a good game of footy today.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a great game. Let's start with the away team. They're in some pretty good form, St Peters. What can we expect from them?
Love what they've done this year. Super impressive football team, a couple of narrow losses. They're still eyeing off top spot, so they want to win today. Top spot come the top 5 in September is critical to making the grand final. So they've got a lot to play for, St Peters. They've been impressive so far this season. Conditions will test them though.
And Glenunga as well. They've been a little bit interesting at times. We've seen the Rams of 2024, but it's been very fleeting.
Yeah, they've had an interesting season, haven't they, Glenunga? All they've got to do now is avoid the relegation. I don't think they can play finals football, but avoiding relegation is huge for them. They're a game and percentage clear. They sneak a win today, you can almost count them out of that relegation battle. So a huge game for them as well.
Maybe that can be a little bit of the September spoilers almost and go on and spoil St Peters' day as well, which would be very interesting and certainly shake up the ladder as well. The conditions today, fairly disappointing, let's be honest.
Yeah, she's cold, but it's not too windy, which is good. If it doesn't rain, the conditions will be pretty good, I think. But if it rains, it'll be slippery, but that's okay. Glenunga won't mind these conditions. I'll probably suit them a little bit more.
Well, that wraps us up. Enjoy these ad breaks, and we'll be right back with more footy.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New Hyoketsu, vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HECS debt doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But What about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Well, welcome everybody to the wonderful Adelaide Foothills. It is going to be great. A great game of footy awaits us between Glenunga and St. Peter's. Who wins? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. Cannot wait for this one to get underway. My name is Lockie Gill, joined by Adam Jeffries. Adam, let's just start with this one. Who wins today?
Well, that's a big call early. We see the ladder there. If you go by the ladder, we've got 2nd versus 7th. So you have to go that St. Peter's will win this game, and they need to stay in touch with top spot. Glenunga at home, haven't won all their home games this year. I think the conditions suit them. If it rains again, I think it'll slow the game down and their contest is strong. If it stays dry, St. Peter's are pretty slick, aren't they, with their ball use and their speed. So I think the conditions will play a part today. So can I hedge my bets? If it rains, Glenunga. But if it stays dry, which it is now, St. Peter's will be too slick.
There we go, having a look at the outlook for the season. Glenunga Rams, they've had one loss in round 2 until they hit round 7. Had a massive win here against Golden Grove, a win that shocked most people, then Broadview and also over the top of Prince Alfred there as well. So you would suspect, based off that, they're better than the teams that look like they're going down, although that loss to Payneham may come back to haunt them at some point. It'll be very, very interesting. What have you made of their season?
You're looking at that. So the next 4 games are against the top 4 teams. So that's going to be tough for them. So that's why the home game today is critical, Lockie. I reckon if they can snatch one against the top 4 at home, keeps them out of that relegation battle. If they lose those 4 fixtures, which could happen, they're going to be playing relegation games in round 17 and 18. They need to find probably 1 more win, 2 they'll be safe. So tick it off today for them would be nice. And they look like they're pretty determined to do so.
Absolutely. You then have a look at St. Peter's, a very different season to one that we were used to last time. They lost a pretty disappointing game in round 1 for them just at the final moment. It was taken away from them by Scott Lysett. But you have a look, rounds 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9 and 10 as well. Barring last week and a pretty determined effort by Salisbury North, they barely put a foot wrong.
Yeah, they've been outstanding this year. They'd be one of the favourites to make the grand final. There's still a lot of footy to be played, and there's if you look at the ladder as we did before, there's 6 pretty good teams in Division 1, isn't there? Salisbury North are a good club sitting in 6th position. So it's not going to be easy for any team, I don't think. I don't think there's a clear-cut favourite. But yeah, St. Peter's haven't really put a foot wrong. Strong percentage, had some really good performances through the season, and really, like you said, they could be 11-1 without those 2 after the siren losses.
Yeah, absolutely. As it sits, they are 9-3. The Glenunga Rams line up today, a couple ins and a couple of outs, but they've got some really good players across the park. They're having a look at Jack Scott. He's found his way back into the team there. Abe Davis is going to do what Abe Davis does. I had a bit of a chat to him pre-game. He was helping out coaching the Bees. I won't say what he said because he told me not to, and he's a scary man. So I don't want to get on the wrong side of him. But yeah, no, it's going to be a really, really good game today. And I think Glenunga, if they bring their best, could certainly shock a few people. Yeah,
it's not quite the team sheet and the depth that we've seen in the last 2 grand final seasons. They've still got some good players, haven't they? Obviously we're all a fan of Abe Davis. Hasn't had the season that he would have liked due to injury and illness, we've heard. So I'm interested to see his role today, whether he plays around the ball or whether he sticks himself at full forward. As everyone knows, I'm a big Zach Smith fan as well. I think he's one of the great defenders in the competition. I'm also a big fan of the way Nick Wonke plays. Mitchell Marini is also a really good player. So they've got plenty of quality across the board. As we flip over to the St. Peter's lineup, we again see a lot of depth in their team. Love the way that Ed Allen plays. I had him best on ground a few weeks ago when we called him. But they've got great depth on ball. Jesse McKinnon's a really good recruit. Johnny Reid has been a bit quiet up forward at times this year. Been interested to see his role today. Love the way Ben Ianello plays. He's been a great addition on the wing for St. Peter's this year. And, of course, Bedford Carruthers really, really good. Another player that I really, really like is Nick Michaels, the small full forward. And if it rains today, look for him to be the go-to target. And the big fella, Henry Stewart-Rattray, should be back in the ruck today.
Yeah, so Nick Michaels was the leading goal kicker for a little bit of this season, but unfortunately there he did lose that when Lockie Pascoe came in and kicked like 40 goals in like 3 weeks or something ridiculous like that, as Lockie Pascoe does what he does for Golden Grove. But there has been some late number changes from Glenunga. Some jumpers have gone missing. So DeSera's gone to 40, Opperman's gone to 38, and Butterworth will be in the 29. So we will get those updated, and well, they'll be updated now as we go to the centre here. Everyone looking for the embrace. Ed Allen embraces there with Abe Davis. We do have another player out in the middle there, looking very much like that's Nicholas Agar. And there we go. It is going to be Glenunga who are going to kick towards the right-hand side of screen, which is currently where St. Peter's are warming up, as Abe Davis and Agar walk back to where they need to be for their respective warm-ups. We have a look here. 98 plays 60. That was the last game. That was the last game these two teams played against each other. Round 4, 2025. Round 17, 2024. That was in Division 1. It was Spock who got a win. And we were talking about how close Spock came to going down last year, and Abe Davis jokingly said to us, yeah, it was our fault they ended up staying up. So I guess Glenunga played a part in their pretty good season, and 74 plays 41 in round 8 of 2024.
Yeah, it was a big win. It was Glenunga's only minor round loss last year, that one. They went 17-1. Their only loss coming to St. Peter's in round 17 before the grand final. So, yeah, St. Peter's won't have any fears out here today at all, will they? No, they certainly won't. I mean, they beat them here as well, is the other thing. So they'll be pretty determined and pretty knowledgeable in the areas that they can use and I guess kind of break their way through. Go back to round 4 this year, Lockie. Whilst that score looks relatively close, it's 28 scoring shots to 10. Unbelievable score line for Glenunga, 10 straight. That's not a typo, everybody. That was actually accurate. They kicked 10 straight goals that game. So they were well and truly beaten out at the Caterer early. They'll have to lift their game this week.
Yeah, I mean they've got to get the job done here. Spock. It's pretty simple, but Glenunga as well will know that in their heart of hearts, if they get a win here, they'll probably save themselves from relegation. Three games, as we said before, that they've got that they really have to find a win. If they do lose today, they really have to find a win against one of the top 4 teams. They'll back themselves here today at home, though. I
think today's the most winnable, isn't it? A bit of a gloomy day. St. Peter's would probably prefer a dry deck to use their speed and ball use. But as we speak, that actually doesn't look too bad. And the oval's in really good condition as well. So if it doesn't rain, St. Peter's will be okay.
Yeah, absolutely. It should be a very entertaining game of footy as we watch Abe Davis give the address. Come on, gentlemen, he says. Do what you've got to do. Having a look at the rest of the BTR Excavations round 13 fixture, it is Ross Trevor taking on Broadview. We're going to get a tip from the great Adam Jeffries.
I'll go out on the limb and say Ross Trevor will beat Broadview.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if that ended up happening, that's for sure. Prince Alfred taking on Salisbury North.
Prince Alfred just struggling a little bit at the moment. Salisbury North will get that one.
Glenunga and St. Peter's, you sat on the fence. We're going to get a tip from you before this one begins. Payneham Norwood Union and Sacred Heart.
Yeah, tough one for Payneham. Sacred Heart been on a little bit of a skid lately. They need to get back on track and get that top 3 berth sewn up. So Sacred Heart for mine.
And Golden Grove taking on Port District.
Yeah, what a matchup. Golden Grove's form has been spectacular in the last 6 weeks. Ever since we were here, they had that down day. Ever since then, they've been unbelievable. So Port District's just, but wouldn't surprise me if Golden Grove got the chocolates there.
And here I do need a tip. I am going to press you for an answer. St. Peter's or Glenunga?
Oh, I think St. Peter's win. Looks like the Weathers will stay away, but who knows? Who knows? But yeah, if I had to put some money on it, I'd be putting it on St. Peter's here today.
The other thing as well is our amazing sponsors, Filming Footy Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ORTC, High Five e-bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks and Kimberley Resorts. Of course, the High Five e-bikes, the votes will be up for grab. Archie's, there's going to be a pub voucher with the Belgravia, the Bianco Magic Moment, and of course the Moseley T-Man as well. All there. Mark of the year. 3 nights accommodation in Broome as well. So if someone wants to take a hanger and you want to go on a holiday, that might be the best way to do it. In the centre we go. Massive game. Fighting for survival, Glenunga. Trying to get themselves above Port District on the ladder is Spock as the ball goes inside forward 50 there from Ianello. It was Bedford who won the clearance. Well, as Michaels tried to lay a tackle, Faye came running through. Sent it from where it came. Big fly there. That might have been a free kick, and umpire said absolutely it was. So it gets thrown back there, ends up in the hands of Allen. So the captain goes towards the leading forward. He was nearly there for Bedford, wasn't able to do it, and it's going to be a ball up.
Good start for Ed Allen. He was so dominant when we called the game at Broadview, wasn't he? But even there, wasn't able to take the mark, but the kick was perfectly weighted to his teammates' advantage. He never wastes a ball.
Bedford there was wrapped up.
Go back to that first centre bounce. That was Stuart Rattray's palm down. Was absolutely elite. So Glenunga need a bit of stronger contest in the ruck next time around.
Ball goes up. Comes back down there towards Bedford. Bedford trying to get away. Wasn't able to do so. McKinnon tried to come charging through. Still might sit for him, but the umpire says I'll have that one back.
You can see big Jordan West, who's a big man. At these round-the-ground stoppages, when you're not running and jumping, you're wrestling, he'll have the ascendancy. Stuart Rattray, I'm sure, would like to just come off and just get a little bit of a run and a jump.
Back in we go. West tried to get it down. Did just that. Ball bouncing away. Should be collected and wasn't. Trying to work its way from Allen. That's a good mark taken there as well. And McKinnon turns. Doesn't have a lot to go to. So goes towards the top of the hot spot. Ball fell down in the end. It should get cleared away. Trigarkis. Oh, no, sorry. That's my apologies there. As that comes off, and that is not going to work out for anyone, really. Over the line it goes, and I do apologise. That was DeSoto there, who had the 7.
Good start for St. Peter's. Glenunga are unable to clear the ball at the moment. Back into the hot spot. Glenunga have held them off thus far.
Ball comes back in. Tap back down. West might be able to get it out. Wasn't able to do so. And we end up with another ball up. Contestant footy. I was talking to Ed Allen before the game, and we were saying it's always very contestant whenever you come to play Glenunga. And they certainly do have that there. I
think that's smart from Glenunga. They don't have the speed on the outside if the game opens up, but you can see the amount of numbers around the ball here, Lockie. This is what Glenunga will want. They'll want a lot of stoppages today.
Davis tries to take it out the centre, wasn't able to do so. McKinnon then throws it back on his boot, and it goes towards the other way as Michaels dances a bit of a tightrope and snaps towards goal and misses everything.
He's a sneaky matchup, isn't he, Michaels? Even there, he's working in the phone box, still managed to get a left foot snap on goal. He'll be one to watch today.
Absolutely. Kick down the line. Big fly comes in. Great grab there. Excellent effort. He's getting back to his feet.
That's Opperman come up from full forward. That's a really good start by him.
Here's Opperman. Changed his number. Was on 13, but lost it. As goes up. Might have been a good change, of course, at number 13. Very unlucky. Speaking of 13s, Charlie Allen had the footy. Finds the releasing kick. Little handball over the top. Here they go. On the outer side wing. One bounce for McGill. At half forward. Got a teammate there just waiting as inside it goes. Big punch away. Collected. Michaels. High up and under. Asking a lot of his flyers. Not able to quite hang on there as waiting at the back is Carruthers. Carruthers sends it in and it gets intercepted. It's a good mark taken by Parsons as Parsons then passes over towards one of his teammates, and they might get out down the outer side wing here. It's going to be a free kick, and it is ended up in the hands of Opperman again. So Opperman from the wing, able to drive it towards the 50. Good mark there. And it was Wiseman who came over the top, able to take the footy.
Done well, Glenunga. They just defended grimly. St. Peter's had the first 4 entries, but they've gone forward once, had the open field with the flood back. Shot from about 45, 50 metres out. Let's see what he can do.
So he lines up. Does he dare kick a goal? Give the ultimate start towards Glenunga, away from Spock. Draws in a breath, goes through his routine. 4 minutes into this contest, Glenunga would love a goal. Kick on its way, looking good, looking really good, and Glenunga start well. Fletcher Wiseman does the job, and it is 1 straight 6. Spocko's yet to score.
Yeah, great shot for goal, wasn't it? I thought he was almost a little bit far out when he first took the mark, but the conditions here are pretty good, aren't they? And yeah, he struck that beautifully, and a really good play by Glenunga. They just soaked up all the pressure from St. Peter's, who'd been all over him really for 5 minutes. Broke free, got the mark at 45. First inside 50, first goal. Spock 4 entries, no score. So good start for Glenunga. Let's see what happens in the centre bounce here. I'm sure Geordie West will look to step over the line and stop Stuart Rattray's leap.
There we go. West does just that, as Adam Jeffries predicted. Pridham this time needs to get it out, wasn't able to. Instead, it's fired out in front of the stoppage. Ball with Michaels. Collected, fired back. Long, high, up and under. That's a great mark there from West, but it wasn't paid, so Bedford ends up with the footy instead. McKinnon might have to go back towards Bedford, ignores that option. Instead, had Scott running through, who goes and has a look towards, well, it was towards a player there, but it wasn't quite taken in the end. That player was Higgins. Pretty good game last week, ended up with the Archies for best on. Of course, they're giving away each of the 5 Division 1 streams, so plenty to look forward to for the players out there. A couple of extra prizes being the Match of the Day stream as well, as the footy goes back in. And this doesn't quite sit there for anyone until it's sat for West, and McKinnon's there as well. It's going to be a ball up.
Looking good for Glenunga again. I know it's weird. They've only had one inside 50 for the match so far, but they've got a lot of numbers around the ball, which is helping them. As you see the snap out of the pack, and that's gone through.
Yeah, has excellent work there. It looks like it's gone off the boot of Ty Bedford. So him and his cousin causing some havoc early, and that's an excellent start. Have a look at this just from the stoppage. Bedford, well, he was just kind of waiting, and it was palmed down perfectly. That was the ruck work there from Stuart Ratway, I'd suspect there, Adam.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle, but that's just something out of nothing from Ty Bedford. There's a lot of numbers around that ball. They'll be disappointed, Glenunga, to allow him to have the snap, but that's just all class, isn't it? Working in the little phone box, quickly onto the boot. Snap truly. Well done, Bedford. A little touch of class there for St. Peter's to get them on the board. 6 inside 50s to 1. They deserve the goal.
So, scoreboard tied up. As we go again. Big clearance. Should go the way there of West, but it's going to go and be a free kick towards Edward Allen. So Allen has the footy. Up the line and towards the back it goes. Scott takes a pretty good mark. So for Glenunga. He then turns and goes towards the outer side. That's a good mark as well at the back there for Ed Allen. And Allen, who are told to play on, kicks it back across, finds Ianello, who does a really good job on the wing. Told he wasn't required by Prince Alfred, so went across to the rivals. And he's playing some pretty good footy at the minute. As the ball goes, and he's collected at the back there. Carlo Vasitas finds Davis. It's a little bit of a tracer pass, and it had a little bit too much pace on it. Smith, as the footy was left behind, picked up by Davis, given up, and then the kick off. Play on advantage is the call. Butterworth had his arms thrown out in the air.
Yeah, a little bit of confusion there. I think the umpire wanted to pay advantage, but all the players had stopped. So smart, bring it back. Free kick to Glenunga.
Free kick to Glenunga and free kick to Davis. What can he do? As he looks around and doesn't really have a lot of options, so just decides to go up the line where it was originally. Big fly. Plenty weighted down, including Wisman, but he wasn't able to get it out. Then a long high up and under. Carlo Vasitas is there. Punched away Bedford. Taps it forward. Davis leads in the foot race. Might spill the footy. It was DeSoto who was there as well. As over the line it goes in the hands of Nelligan, the Red Legs player. Played in last year's grand final. Or in last year's reserves grand final. As the ball's about to come back into play. Tapped. And it might work its way forward. It does. It's a little soccer. No one was able to quite pick that one up. The intended target may have been Bedford. Bedford. It was knocked from his hands. As the punch goes up. Should be collected and is. Ianello ran out of room. And the kick affected just enough as it ends up there in the hands of the Glenunga Footy Club.
The Glenunga tall forwards have done well so far, making some good contests, bringing the ball to ground for their crummers.
It goes up and at the back. Collected nicely by Belperio. He then goes across the ground. It's a dangerous kick. Carruthers was the intended target. Has to turn tackler, and they'll settle for that, Glenunga. They'll settle for that, St. Peter's, because that could have gone badly very quickly. Abel wrapped up.
As soon as it left the boot, it looked like a turnover, so they'll be happy to dodge that one. But that's how they want to play. They want to try and switch the footy and get away from all the Glenunga numbers when they can.
Waiting down cleverly there was Bedford as the kick gets forward. Bouncing ball. Handballed across, and here they go and through. Carruthers, kick inside forward 50. It was an icing pass, but it wasn't quite able to be picked up as there's going to be a tackle and a ball thrown back up. So we wait. The footy does find its way back up. Still no one able to quite trap it. Both Bedfords are there. They seem to be involved a lot in the minute, and there may be a free kick. It is, but it's going against, I believe that is Scott Bedford, as the kick goes towards the outer side. Well, near side, I should say. My apologies, as that kick might have been turned over. Agar's there. He's then tackled, and in the dirt it goes. Little footy brought forward, but it is going to be a free kick. And it looks like it is going to go the way of Fergus Carruthers. And of course, both Carruthers, I don't believe there's any relation. Happy to be proven wrong on that one there. But yeah, both Fergus and Malachi aren't shy of the big sticks. They do some good job in front of goals. But still, we wait as Fergus Carruthers. He wouldn't from there, would he? Puts it up. It's going towards the line. It's going. It's fisted over. And that's a behind. And Spock, for the first time today, have the lead.
It's one of those wasted kicks inside 50 for mine. He knew he didn't have the distance. You've got to try and set the ball up to about 15 out so that spoil creates a crumb rather than the rush behind.
Kick towards the outer side. Big pack forming. Over the top. Comes out. Smith. He's got the bleach in the hair. I'm assuming that's what's done that. And there's going to be a bit of the ball up. Bleach or peroxide. Try throwing back. And there he is. As Smith gets it out. Good tackle on Carruthers. Pridham wrapped up. And it is throwing back towards the umpire. West tries to get it out. Fired back of the pack. Long, high, up and under. Oh, wow! Parsons able to take a good grab. I thought he was going to go straight over the top. He knew what was in front of him. Unfortunately there, it was one of his teammates who didn't. Up it goes towards the hot spot. Knocked away Belperio. Links through, and at the back there, Weeks gets it clear. Bouncing ball. Carlo Vasitas picks it up. Turns, gets it back inside forward 50. Mark nearly taken. Davis. Belperio finds Weeks, and they might be out of jail.
Might have to stop the play here. We think we've got a head injury, or is it a leg injury potentially in front of us? Not exactly sure what happened.
Sarah's ended up, he was one of the players that lost his jumper. So Sarah's ended up coming off a little bit worse for wear.
Might have caught his teammate coming back for the flight with that spectacular mark. Shouldn't understand, that was a spectacular mark by Parsons coming back with the flight. Really courageous stuff.
Even more courageous as well, because he would have taken stock of what was in front of him, and he knew that was coming. Still ran towards the footy. Incredibly impressive. Weeks, meantime. Long, high footy. Mark was taken, and they quickly turn off and get it inside, but diving backwards as well. Trying to turn his own courageous mark. There was a Glenunga player who then flicks it across.
Defended well so far, haven't they? That's 9 entries for St. Peter's, just the 1 goal, which was the classy snap out of the pack. So haven't conceded a mark inside 50 as yet. That's a great mark there.
That has been taken there
by
by
Opperman, who's changed the number. Yeah, he's had a great start to the game. Opperman, really good markers. They're on the fast break.
Here they go. Smith lights it up towards goal from 50. And they get another Glenunga. They're up and about today.
Yeah, that was a fantastic takeaway. Give Opperman a lot of credit here. He's playing full forward, but what he's doing is he's coming high up the field and taking some good marks and contests for his team. So Glenunga are playing a bit of a soccer style. They flood back. They've got an open field, and if they get through, it's an open field with one-on-one. Good finish there by Smith. Hard not to notice him with that haircut, but a great goal.
Yep, you got the bleach, peroxide, something in there. Looks really good. As did that goal from 50. Back here, Webb Oval. Exciting place to watch football. Back it goes. Tap down. And a little bit of the rave music going on. I can just hear in the eardrums. The ball's flicked back across. Coming through. Bedford picks it up. Inside forward 50. No one quite able to pick it up except Carruthers, who ended up getting it on his boot. And the ball's fired back across goal. Can they find a mark? Nelligan's there. Bounces past him. McGill, can he pick it up? He doesn't. Still there. And there, that should be cleared. It's pretty good work down the line and a great mark taken. Turning pretty quickly there. For Glenunga is Butterworth, who gets it inside.
Clever.
Little tap over the top. Easy as you like. Bang! Davis. And they've got 3. And that was fantastic work from Opperman as well. He just gave a little flick over the top. Great work.
Yeah, that's great team play by Opperman. Really impressed with his start to the game. He would have been disappointed. He was all on his own. He would love to have taken the mark and had the set shot. The ball bounced. He knew Davis was there. He would have called him, but unselfishly tapped it on. He knew if he took the ball, Johnny Reid would likely tackle him and the goal wouldn't go through. So, yeah, well done by Opperman. Really enjoying his game so far, playing a great role for his team. Great for Davis's confidence, of course, to get the Joe the Goose out the back. And Glenunga, yeah, defending grimly. 4 inside 50s only, 3 goals.
Wow, a 11-point ball game. Back in the centre. The ball gets twirled skyward again. Shook it out by Michaels, didn't quite. Umpire says that one's going to be a high tackle, and Pridham, and the recipient of the free kick there, Smith, picks up the footy, but it's going to have to go back to Pridham. Wasn't behind the mark, and now we are back on. There was a runner coming through. The runner's name there was Smith. Smith goes. There was contact with the footy at the front of the pack, but Wonky wasn't able to hang on to the mark, and that ended up getting smashed down. Umpire balls it back up. Or will ball it back up. He does now. Still they try and work their way through. Bedford might be able to charge through. Wasn't able to, and that one is going to be a ball up there.
We've got a high tackle paid here. No.
No, it is a high tackle.
I think that's Marini in the long sleeves. Yeah, didn't quite see what happened there. One of those little soft ones, but not a lot of remonstration from St. Peter's. So, again, Glenunga's 5th inside 50. That could be their 4th goal.
Well, I saw one of the Spock defenders drop to his knees, so it was certainly there. Something they saw. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Marini's able to go back and add another goal to the board. Could the Rams be about to become the September spoilers for Spock? Let's see. Kick is with Marini, and it's on his boot. For 4 straight in the game, they do just that. Good start. As the Rams continue to make Webb Oval a little bit of a fortress. I've struggled here this year. It's been a bit of a weird year for Glenunga, you'd have to say. A pretty disappointing year all round, but they will be feeling a little bit more revitalised, especially if they can get some wins over some teams they shouldn't. I mean, an excellent opportunity playing, as we've already mentioned numerous times, the top 4 across the next 4 weeks.
Yeah, really good start to the game for them. Like I said, St. Peter's have had all the field position, 10 inside 50s to 5, but Glenunga have counter-attacked. Got 4 goals from 5 entries, so they can't keep that up all day. St. Peter's will get their turn.
Ball back in the centre. Does get out there from West. It's just a high up and under. A couple of Spot players lead the chase. Coming in from the side there was Smith. Smith had the footy ripped away from him. Ianello, ball somehow spilt out. And now they go towards the outer side. It is with Fay. Fay needed to act. Did. Ball almost slapped away there. Great tackle. And that one is going to be a ball up there. Weeks stopped dead in his tracks. Plenty of screaming going on from the bench. Parsons is one of those players. He seemed to have come up all right from that big, courageous effort. It was Bedford who tried to go in over the top, wasn't able to do so. They might get it forward, and they do. It was off the boot of Allen. Bouncing ball. Collected at the back there from Butterworth. Butterworth flicked it, oh sorry, that's apologies. Agar flicked it across towards Temi, and Temi then found Carlo Vasitas. Carlo Vasitas found Smith. Smith then inside the 50. Has to go there and not able to quite hang on to the mark. The ball gets towards the line, and there's plenty of calls for a free kick. There was a free kick, and it's going the way there of Glenunga. Might have been out of bounds on the fall. So plenty of players rush inside the defensive 50, or the 50 towards the right-hand side of screen. And that's an excellent mark as well. As Henry able to just plug the hole for a little minute there for Spock. They've been a little bit taken to task. It looks like a game you would see in 2024, a scoreline like this, with Glenunga winning early on as Henry Stewart-Rattray takes the footy. He's on near enough to the wing, just a little bit behind that. Of course, this stadium located in prime position, a 15-minute walk as Bedford takes mark from the Arkabar Hotel. And it is a fantastic place to play some football in the Adelaide foothills. Weather pretty good at times. Today is not a prime example of that, though, as there has been some rain and passing showers across Adelaide and across the stadium. As it was a pretty good mark there as well. McKinnon, he went inside. Higgins is there, picks it up. De Cesare, he's a goal sneak. And he does just that. Excellent effort from Lockie De Cesare.
I think the Glenunga players are claiming a little sneaky touch as the ball come off the boot there. Very adamant about it, but thankfully, not like the AFL, we don't go to the replay. They still haven't taken a mark inside 50 St. Peter's. I think they were there saying there was a touch, but unless it's big enough for the umpire to see or hear, that's a goal. So much needed by St. Peter's. Just been under the pump the last 5 minutes, but a nice settler for them.
Yeah, they almost didn't. There was a look of almost shock, I guess, on the face there of a couple of the Glenunga players who were saying, no, we touched it, but the Kieran Hayoketsu scoreboard, of course, hello, yes, thanks to the Kieran Hayoketsu scoreboard, says an 11-point margin, 4 straight plays, 2-1. Back in the centre, margin has only been out as far as that would be 17 points. And that last goal, they cut it back towards 11. But Glenunga, they've been doing all the attacking early with, I guess, kind of spot fires there from the visiting team. Kick came forward, collected by McGill. McGill then towards the outer side found Allen. Allen, and then the pass comes through towards the outer side. Charging forward. Long high footy at the back. It's a good tackle there to stop, but the snap came through. And it was a behind. They're just starting to find their foothold here, are St. Peter's. And again, they'll start Will Glenunga from the back. A long levering kick and towards the outer side. It was Fay who tried to go charging through, wasn't able to do that. So he was ferociously tackled, and the umpire says, I'll have that one back. A bit of a double tag there as we wait for the Rucks to re-engage. They do just that. West, Stuart Rattray. Footy gets cleared, and an excellent grab as well. And Butterworth is just hobbling, so he might be a little bit sore. As he's
like
played on, and he couldn't take the kick, so he played on and gave the footy across towards the player there in Marini. But Butterworth is very quickly coming off. You can see him hobbling here. That could be an ankle, potentially something to do with the lower leg. I'm not a doctor, so I'm not 100% sure. I'm sure the medicos will know as he comes running straight towards the trainers. He's done, and he'll be replaced by either one of Smith or Wiseman. I think if I was a betting man, they may go and put Smith in. Either way, Wiseman's waiting to come onto the field as well. Free kick though, or trip. That's a dangerous moment, but Bedford, well, Marini given the benefit of the doubt, because definitely if he tried to trip him, that's 50 metres. And it's started again. Scott Bedford goes towards the 50. Big fist. That's going to be a free kick. It's going to be high, and it is going to go the way there of St. Peter's. They've got an opportunity on goal here, and it's Michaels. Michaels is a good kick of the footy, is a good set shot routine, and I tell you what, at a time when they desperately need to close the margin, they'd love a goal. 10 points. It's close as it's been for a little while here, 16 minutes into the first term. Does Michaels get a goal? Kick. On its way. Shaping back across the face behind.
He got the distance there, Michaels. I wasn't sure if he had a 50-metre kick in him or not. Lucky free kick. Just over the shoulder. Michaels first, picking a goal for the day.
Temi towards the outer side. It's going to be a free kick here, and it is going to go the way there of the player in Abel. Abel then gets it to go up the line. Fisted away, and over the line it goes. So we'll see that one later as the footy gets thrown back in. So DeSera still off. Haven't seen him for a while. He's then joined on the bench there by the player in Butterworth. Potentially Glenunga a couple down already in this contest. That would have to affect rotations, you'd imagine, as Bedford gets the handball forward. McKinnon gives it across now with Stuart Rattray. Stuart Rattray, Bone was there. Knocked away from him, jumping and diving on top of it, but the footy comes back. Hard the other way. Collected at the back of the contest. Higgins in those pink boots gets it inside. Ball slapped forward by Parsons, and that is going to be, well, nearly a ball up his cull over Cetus. Bedford gets it towards Ty Bedford, who then turns and gets it snapped back in. And here they go, away. Fay, dribbling footy. Only as far there as Bennett. Ball gets forward again, collected, turned, cleared by Fay towards the wing. It's going to be a free kick, and it is going to go the way there of Glenunga. So they restart again from the middle of the ground there as it's slapped away only as far as Smith. Smith might get it back. Eisman lost the footy. Here they go, outside of the foot. The impossible attempted. And the footy marked as well there. Great effort at the back by Ianello. He runs hard all day, two-way running, Benjamin Ianello. As is his brother as well at Prince Alfred. Both very, very good elite aerobic abilities. As that one ends up getting picked up and inside forward 50 it goes. High up and under. Oh, there was a fly from Davis. Wasn't able to bring it down. Tapped away. Nelligan got it out. The kick came from Allen. And now the ball's collected by Carlo Vasitas. Carlo Vasitas brings it back in. Backing back. West. Still they fight on. And the umpire says that one might be a free kick. And it is going to go the way of Charlie Allen there.
Bit of carnage at the bottom of that pack as well. Looks like everyone's okay. Nick Wonky a bit slow to get up. Hopefully the big fella's all right.
Only the two Allen brothers out there today. Of course, there is a third, Hamish, as the footy is taken there. Good mark taken by Parsons, and the siren goes. So what a game of footy we have seen. 4 straight 24. Spock 2-3-15, a 9-point ball game. Glenunga got the fast start. Spockos came back. Who's going to win this game of footy? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned to find out. We'll see you on the other side of this break.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New Hyoketsu. Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
G'day everybody, welcome back to Matchday Live. It's been a fast start from the Rams. You'd be mistaken for thinking that it was going to be all one-way traffic this afternoon, given how these two teams stacked up with each other. But we have had some injuries as well. Butterworth in the 29 lost the 18 Guernsey. That was the first day. That was the first part of his day that ended with a little bit of drama. His ankle, lower leg area looks a little bit injured. And of course, DeSera, we haven't seen him for a while. He ended up going down under pretty heavy contact from Parsons, who took a ripping mark. If you missed that, you have missed a great first quarter of footy, and you might do a double take on the scoreboard. 4 straight 24, plays 2-3-15. What do Spock need to do to get back into this game?
Yeah, it's been an interesting quarter of footy. What stood up was both teams' defences. There was only one mark inside 50 between both teams for the whole quarter. St Peter's have had 14 entries inside 50, won the centre bounces. So they're going okay. They just didn't take their chances. And what Glenunga did is they took their chances. They kicked 4 goals from the first 5 entries they had inside 50. 3 times, Lockie, they were able to get the ball in the back 50 and go coast to coast in an open field. So that's where Glenunga find themselves leading on the scoreboard. They're leading on the scoreboard, but St Peter's are playing pretty steady footy. It's going to be a tough day for them, though. You can see how the game's unfolding. There's not a lot of time and space for them to use their leg speed and their foot skills, which is what Glenunga want to do. They want to get some numbers around the stoppage, make it more of a scrap, and then score on the counter-attack. So points to Glenunga so far, but St Peter's still in the match. Just need to take some opportunities inside 50.
Absolutely, yeah, I couldn't agree more with that analysis there. It'd be pretty interesting to see whether or not Glenunga are able to generate any more than they are. You feel like they're going to have to find a way, I guess, to kind of score more than they have. You have a look, it's 5 scoring shots to 4 at the minute. But you do feel like potentially there's the option there where if the dam wall breaks, St Peter's may run away with it. You said early on they were about 9 to 2 inside 50s or something like that? Yeah,
started that way.
Yeah.
And then Glenunga just got some ascendancy late in the quarter. But yeah, St Peter's are okay. Like I said, just needs to find a winner inside 50, which they haven't been able to do as yet.
Yeah, that back 6 as well for Glenunga. They will be under constant pressure all day. Let's see if they're able to stick with it as we get ready to go again. Umpire holds the ball aloft. It's thrown up, and West gets the tap down towards Davis. He's doing his bit in the middle. Stuart Rattray able to get it out towards, it was Nelligan, who then got Carruthers, and Carruthers, big punch away there. Should be picked up there by DeSoto. It wasn't quite, as the ball just flicks and tricks around. No one able to quite grab it, though. And that's a high tackle, absolutely. Agar nearly had his head taken off. So that's going to be 25. Silly free kick to give away, no reason to do it. And all of a sudden he's marched towards, what's that, 60 back from his own defensive goal. And he's got a little pass on as well towards Davis. He's fighting with Bedford. And that one looks like it's going to go over the line.
Yeah, it just relieves the pressure, doesn't it, that little 25-metre penalty. But that's all right. You like to see your forwards get stuck in, but yeah, the little 25-metre penalty. Glenunga's safe on the wing at the moment.
And well done as well to Bedford, able to fight against Davis, make sure he didn't take the contested mark, get it over the line. That's a big win for his team. As the ball flicks there, should be collected and wasn't, and over the line it goes. Plenty of arms outstretched, saying, come on, is that not deliberate? Is that not a free kick there? Umpire says no. We'll throw that one back into play. It's around about true centre wing, maybe a stone throw over towards the left of screen, which is the end that Glenunga are kicking from, if you cannot tell from the position in which, well, West was standing, but they're mixing it up at the minute. Rattray trying to run around behind him, get front position. He does that eventually. The ball's socket along. And that should be extracted. It is on his far, though. Wiseman, who was standing at the back of the, who was standing at the front of the pack, sorry. Ianello ends up nearly taking out a spectator. And could have ended up over the bench. Thank God there's not a big barrier there, otherwise he might have gone over it. We've seen that a couple of times. From time to time as the ball gets ready to get thrown back into play. Rattray, West. Battle about to engage again. It does. West, he's a hard man to move. They don't do that. That is going to be a free kick as we have the footy thrown up again. Ball there by Carruthers, able to extract it almost from the pack. There might have been a Falcon involved. Good work from Allen. Allen then from the back from his defensive 50 able to get it forward. Still they keep working hard. Picked up nearly by McKinnon on the wing. It's with Bedford now. As that one goes over the line. That is going to come back. It's going to go back up there. True centre wing. That's where we have it. Footy gets cleared. Pridham. Still might be able to pick it up. Bedford got there ahead of him. Ty. Big, long lever, able to get it out. As the footy's taken by Agar, and geez, he grabbed it almost like he was trying to do a defensive line. He was grabbed and then thrown to the deck. That wouldn't look out of place on an Origin night, certainly there.
Glenunga will be happy with this though, Lockie. A lot of stoppages. St Peter's just can't really get any momentum.
The footy just comes sprinting away from the pack, and inside forward 50 it goes here for Glenunga. Big snap from Bennett. Needs a little bit of direction if that's go towards the goal. It doesn't quite. Still they fight. Dragged in. Edward Allen under all kinds of pressure, and that one is going to be a ball up. Hey, backies, let's go. Still they wait. And we are away again. It was Davis was able to do the ruck work that time. Not sure Smith was the intended target. Almost worked out for him instead. The St. Peter's defence resolute. Carruthers tries to win it out. He's unable to. Had Davis for company, and he's a hard man to beat towards the footy. As we go up again. Davis nearly got the tap down. And that is cleared there. Carruthers, long high footy. Good mark taken. Temmie backs back, courageous. As he gets that ball back from where it came. Ball falls towards the back. Opperman's chasing after it. He's taken care of. Next cab off the rank there was Nelligan at the bottom of that pack. Gets towards the outer side. Still they continue to scrap. Still they continue to fight. And Faye's high up and under ball. Might work out okay for somebody. Not quite. Smith there. Over the line.
Yeah, they just can't get any momentum, can they, St. Peter's? Stoppage numbers around the ball, another stoppage. Definitely suiting Glenunga this type of style at the moment.
It's always a contested game because the ground is so small here at Webber. I don't think anyone will mind me saying that. Because the ground is so small here, you're forced to almost play with more players than you would like at a zone. Hence, more players get involved, you end up getting more, I guess, kind of contestant work here. As Davis flicked to it towards the outer side, it might work out okay. And again, another tackle. You see, a couple of metres gained, ran into the dirt. Umpire says, "I love it." And it was thrown back there by Marini, who's been pretty good since he came into the team. Him and his brother both play at Glenunga, as that nearly worked out okay, but over the line it goes. And there's a bit of pushing and shoving. Weeks, well, had a pretty relaxed look about him as he was pushed over the line. Nothing really in that. Of course, they were playing soccer on the ground just over the back there, but it looks like that has been packed up, and everyone will be wandering over here. Great little area, as I said before. As that was smothered. It was Davis's attempt that was smothered, and it was a goal there that's just gone begging. A missed opportunity. Glenunga, 4-1-25. Their first blemish on the day. Spock, 2-3-15. A margin there of 10 points. It got as high as 17 points. That was the game high. Spock have led, but only by a point on their day, and they've got the entire length of the ground to go. If they want to change that. Ball towards the near side. Here they go. Pack forms. Who's going to fly? It's cleared there. Opperman. It's collected at the back again there. That was an absolute icing pass. Thank God Nelligan's hands were good, or that would have hit his head. Over the top there finds Ianello. And he's got the footy there. Does Benjamin. Inside forward 50. Backing back over the pack. And that one's trickling. It might go all the way through. It's rushed through in the end, and in the blink of an eye, St. Peter's ball movement, despite the fact they are trying on the scoreboard, has been pretty good. A margin back of 11 points. Wonky! Oh, he went flying. It wasn't quite to be. Weeks sent it inside forward 50. Can we get a fly? Bones there. Had his arms outstretched. He's got a wide wingspan. Wasn't able to drag that one in. And that one is going to be balled up. That would have been some kind of grab. Have a look at this on the dartfish.
There's a good prize for Mark of the Year, isn't it?
3 nights in Broome, brought to you by Moonlight Streets, thanks to Kimberley Resort.
Yeah, it would have been a contender if he held on.
That would have been a screamer. Used him like a step ladder. In fact, he would have had more difficulty on a step ladder. As we get ready to go again. And not saying I'm the expert in step ladders, but we do use them to help set up production here. The ball goes towards the outer side, and that's... Well, that could have been hanging on there against Bedford. Umpire let him play. So Ty's ended up with the footy again, trying to get it forward. Lost out. That's cleared. Straight down the throat of Ed Allen. Almost as if he'd called the ball. And he's able to get a kick forward. Good mark taken. Stuart Rattray intercepted. Disappointing. But it's going to be Glenunga to restart.
Both teams' defence is well on top, Lockie. Just a quick stat. There has only been one mark inside 50 for an attacking team so far in this match.
Wow, that is almost unheard of. We're nearly, early stages, second quarter, nearly heading towards the midway point. You would not see that in many games of footy, AFL or otherwise. The ball goes inside, and again, another defensive mark taken. Do you happen to have defensive marks there, Adam?
There's been plenty. No, I ran out of ink.
Yeah, fair enough. So the ball goes down, and it's almost like trying to count Pascal's goals. You just run out of He just run out of ink there in the end, as you said, and that one's going to go over the line. Nearly hit a spectator, but they were well aware watching the footy, which is what you want to see. If you are in the Glenunga area, or you're watching another, or you're flicking between streams and you're in the area of that stream, get down to the game, free entry, great area, and as a positive, you don't have to listen to me and Adam prattle on. You can just watch the footy in silence as the ball goes towards the outer side. That one comes down there from Wonky. Pridham picks it up. And Marini got it towards the line. There's a little bit of a Glenunga supporters group out there. And they've got a couple of barrels with them. As the ball comes with Weeks, and Weeks is tackled. He's in trouble. Umpire pings him. And Wiseman, well, he was caught in between two minds, and in the end took too long to make a decision. And on a footy field, you just simply cannot do that.
Yeah, it's Wiseman. It was a good tackle. I thought Smith kept the ball alive. I thought St. Peter's were going to clear the ball. It was a good tackle by Wiseman. Tricky shot for goal, though. But again, this game style is suiting Glenunga, isn't it? St. Peter's just no time and space to switch the football, use their handball out of stoppage. Game's looking like a Glenunga game at the moment. But they need to capitalise because St. Peter's are getting enough entries. Once they find a winner inside 50, the game will change.
Kicking down towards the club room ends. That's left of screen. Gosh, you're filming footy screen there as the kick from 50 looks pretty good. There was a bit of a fly. Wonky is trying desperately to get up to Broome. He might have accidentally booked flights.
He's competed really well and he's flown a couple of times. It just hasn't quite stuck for him yet today, but look out for him. A mark's going to stick soon.
We might have a work trip booked and they've said we're not paying for your accommodation, so he's trying to get free accommodation some way. As the ball is wrapped up there, Wonky lays the tackle as well. There's no tackle of the year. As the ball goes up, that'd be a hard one to judge. There's so many tackles, especially here at Glenunga, as we said. Very small ground, so nice and competitive. St. Peter's try and get some ball movement here. Out towards the wing, Carlo Vasitas. Ended up in Tommy Javor's half team of the year. And there's plenty of good footballers coming into that. There's a nice mark taken by DeSera, so he's back out. That's good to see. He took a pretty heavy knock, but he seems to be okay. Kick. There, oh, well done, Opperman. Was just standing in the middle of the pack, and in the end it was his footy.
That's a fantastic mark by Opperman. He deserves that because I love the first quarter he played. He came up high up the field, really competed. It's a pretty good mark, isn't it? Drifting in from the side. He's an athletic player. And as a rule, pretty good shot for goal from this range.
Yeah, excellent effort as Opperman lines up his opportunity. And great to see DeSera get on the end of it. He's had a tough game so far, of course, with a big head knock. So good to see some things work out for him. As Opperman kicks a goal, and Glenunga, well, they are just causing all kinds of problems. His first goal of the day joins Wiseman, Smith, Davis and Martini on the scoreboard. Meanwhile, T. Bedford and De Cesare as well on the board for the Spockos. But they're in some dangerous water here, Spock, and they need to start swimming towards safety if they're to get this one rightly fixed up. Their September hopes would take a little bit of a dip. You don't want to see that here, especially against a team that themselves were everyone's favourite going into Grand Final Week. I remember Grand Final Week quite vividly, and we all thought it would be Glenunga by how much, of course, Port District got it done. But it'll be interesting to see what happens, well, in a few Saturdays from now when we do get to that big dance. So footy's cleared off the back of the pack, rolling footy. The pack is led by Edward Allen. He then fires out a hand pass. Del Perio ran into some trouble and he ran out of room too. Umpire says we'll throw that one back in.
Up and about Glenunga, aren't they? The pressure skills are high. Like I said, it's a tricky oval for St. Peter's, isn't it? They play so well on the bigger ovals. They're so elite with their foot skills and their run and dash and handball. Can't find any time and space today.
Davis gets it clear, fires a handball out towards the outer side. Fay sends it into a little bit of orbit. Should have worked out okay for Pridham. Didn't quite. Bedford might be able to get his way through. Did that. Clear towards the outer side. Coming back the other way though. Abel takes a pretty good mark. Needs a flyer. Big fist away from Wonky. Bedford might manage to wiggle his way through. Wasn't able to do that. Pridham sends it back inside. And that's a great grab there.
Ed Allen, that's a timely mark. Courageous. Thought Opperman was going to come out and take the chest mark there. Much needed for his team there, Allen.
Footy gets out towards Fragakis. He's able to pick it up. And now, I don't know if you remember this, Adam, from that game against Golden Grove. He kicked a goal from about there.
Yes, I interviewed him after the game. He was pretty happy with it too.
Yeah. Do you think he's got another one in him today on his home deck?
He's playing high. Let's see how he goes.
Footy comes back in. And we should be able to get it away here through Bedford. As Spocko tried to line themselves up, wasn't able to do that. Chasing it at the back there is Edward Allen. It's a little socket ball. And that is going to be held up there. Ianello, Temi made sure he was going nowhere. Umpire says, throw him up, gentlemen.
Another stoppage. I'm not counting how many stoppages there are, but I feel like we're getting close to 30, 40, 50 stoppages already in this game.
Ball goes up. Davis tries to get it clear. Does enough to get it to West. And then West gets it forward. Wonky! He's got one eventually.
Called it about a minute ago. He's been competing and flying and doing all the things and just had a couple of opportunities. The ball didn't stick in his hands, but that time made it look easy. In a pack of 5, that's a really good contested mark by Wonky. Sticky hands.
Great
Pack
grab.
in front of him, bloke on his ass. Great mark. Don't want to give the commentators curse to the big fella, but generally a pretty good shot from this range. Loves it from about 40, 45.
Had a couple of moments yet to insert himself on the game. Pretty good mark, as we just said there. Came over the top. And now we wait. Kick. On its way. Kick. Across the face. So it just goes away there. A 32 to 16 point game. So 16 points the difference there. My math hasn't failed me. 5-2 plays 2-4. And the high, long, clearing footy. Good mark there. That worked out okay. Ball given off. Nelligan. Trying to dance around. Smith. Trouble. Trouble was brewing. Might be okay, though, as Higgins able to clear towards Henry. And Henry switches the play.
Should be able to switch and go here. Finally, for St. Peter's, some ball movement.
Weeks. Sorry. They've got it out there towards Carruthers. Carruthers had to go inside. Drew the man. Then gave it across towards Allen. Allen was pretty good. Well done. That's excellent work. Good ball movement. Unselfish play as well. It's very easy for Allen's eyes to light up then, take a couple of steps and just power through the ball. But found Malachi Carruthers, who is an excellent kick and could join Bedford and Cesare on the scoreboard. They desperately need this one. Margin of only 16, but when you've only scored 16, it feels like a long way back.
Yeah, great switch of the play finally for St. Peter's. Just a little bit of composure and a sideways kick off half-back. Charlie Allen, that was fantastic composure. A lot of players blaze away in that instant. Desperately need a goal here, St. Peter's.
Everyone takes a collective breath. Kick. Just across the face. So we find another behind. That's disappointing for St. Peter's.
He didn't look comfortable on the set shot there, did he? Did not look comfortable at all. His team need it. Good build up. Let's see if St. Peter's get a little bit more of that ball movement.
We go again. From full back. See what we're able to do. As there's a long footy from Smith. Smith finds West. Well, nearly found West. West was there in the pack. Trying to work their way out of that one was McCarthy. Who, and the footy's coming back towards the umpire. We go again, true centre wing. West. Nearly able to wiggle his way through then was McKinnon. But picked up there is with Nelligan, who Nelligan just had to get it on the boot. It's a high floating ball. It ended up getting towards the 50. Carlo Vasitas desperately defending. Didn't quite work out for him. Silly picks it up. Fired backwards. And again, that might just stay in. Agar might have just ran out of room too on second thought. Ball meant to be thrown back into play.
Need a bit of magic now at these stoppages, don't they, St. Peter's? They need to get on the fly. Try and find a high free kick or something. They just can't get anything happening out of these stoppages with all the Glenunga big-bodied tacklers around the ball at the moment.
Ball flicked down. Bedford might be able to wiggle his way out. Can't, and that's going to be a ball up. That one's thrown back towards the umpire. Go again. Can we get a clearance? Bedford, clever. Bedford, snapping. Bedford goaling. He is looking the goods at the minute. Brilliant work, Ty Bedford.
Yeah, exactly what I called for. They just needed a little bit of magic. There's so many stoppages and they just haven't been able to get through. It was Ty Bedford on that occasion, wasn't it? That's just exactly what his team needed. That's a touch of class, isn't it? Got the ball off the ruckman's hand, sold the candy, brushed the tackle and snapped the goal. Made it look easy, actually. But that's a brilliant goal by Bedford. That's his second goal from the stoppage for the game. So here, Glenunga need to make sure they get a body on him. Great goal, just what the game needed.
Absolutely, and he was almost just kind of had an attitude of that's hard for you lads, and just walked his way through the stoppage almost. The seas parted like he was Moses, and he was able to get through and kick a pretty good goal. Absolute bit of class then, as we try and get it moving forward again. This time it was his cousin, that's Scott, who managed to get it up towards the Cesare. And they're the handball game. Glenunga up for the fight in this one, make no mistakes about it. Pridham. And there goes Faye. Faye able to get a hand pass. He's going to have to get it back from 50. If anyone can, he can. Or him and Tregarkis, we should say, as the ball gets towards the back. Allen, big snap out of there. Tregarkis is there, speaking of him. And he might get the footy, he doesn't. So it's gone back towards McGill. McGill, little pass inside. Picked up, and that one is brought forward. Big push there on Bone. And that, well, everyone's just kind of crowded around it. Like it's a chip, and there are a bunch of seagulls as the footy is thrown back towards the umpire. Mine, mine, mine. That'll be the call. Of course, Finding Nemo reference for all those out there, as that one's going to be a free kick going the way of the player there in Faye. Faye gets it towards the boundary line, and that one looks like it's just going to stay in play. Allen, big kick back, and that one is sent back from where it came, top of the 50 arc. By the time everyone arrived, there's plenty of runners there. Bedford ran across the front of the pack, ended up with the footy in the end. Gives it across towards Nelligan. Nelligan, now Carruthers. Still Carruthers, running straight through the centre of the ground. Oh no, that probably should have been a mark to McGill. Got it back towards Malachi Carruthers. Then our big fist over the top. Well done, Smith. That is the defensive effort of a team that looks like they're up for the fight in this game of football, and that one's cleared over the line in the end away from Pridham. But that defensively is a brilliant effort. Have a look at this. Kick comes in. Big, big moment in the game. Punched away. Does it all himself. No help at all. Fortunately for him and his team as well. There were no attackers there. The ball comes back into play. Carruthers outside. Swinging kick. Malachi Carruthers has kicked it, we think. He's kicked it. Go on, by, gave him the signal.
Yeah, amazing the difference when Carruthers had the set shot from down in the pocket. He looked really uncomfortable on the run. He's banged it through from 50 out wide. That's a tremendous kick on the run. And a little bit easy out of the stoppage there. They've just lifted, haven't they, St. Peter's? It was becoming a real grind, but we saw the last goal out of the stoppage, and again, a little bit of class out of the stoppage. There's so many of them, so they're going to have to score from stoppage. Great handball out the back, unattended. So yeah, Glenunga, something fell away, a little bit of pressure fell away at that stoppage. And St. Peter's have made them pay with 2 goals. Game back on.
Yeah, 3 points is all she's got in terms of difference. Big game of footy. Davis gets it clear. That's going to be a free kick, and it is going to go the way there of DeSera. He ends up with the ball. Big pack forms at the top of the Glenunga forward line. Thrown back over the top of his head. Can he do what he's missed? That'd have been something pretty special. If we tick in a red time here, a margin now of 4 points. It was 9. Spock, they've fired back after they were put on the ropes there in the first quarter. But, I mean, if you were judging this as a boxing fight, 10-9, 10-9. So both teams had a moment. That's a pretty good intercept mark. Pretty poor kick in.
Yeah, they've got to take risks, don't they, St. Peter's? They don't want to kick to the contest. They do want to try and get up the middle and use their class, but probably not exactly what they need. He's had a quiet day, Davis, but he can kick his second goal here. We've seen him bang them through from 50 plenty of times before. So, yeah, a little bit of a turnover. They have to take some risks sometimes, St. Peter's. They want to move the ball, but probably not what they needed on that occasion.
Well, St. Peter's, I'll be disappointed, dare I say it, with the kick-in. So it'll be interesting to see what Abe Davis is able to do. Possibly the last player you'd want to give it to. In terms of if you're going to turn it over from a kick-in, Abe Davis would be right up there. He's lining up like he's coming in like he's got an aircraft carrier there. He's going to have to launch it a long way. From the centre square he's begun his run up. So Ben Brown comes in. And looking good for Abe Davis. Missed. So that one there is a behind. So that is towards the outer side. Oh, big fly there. Wasn't quite worked out okay. He might just a tick and a half ahead here. St. Peter's. That there is with Michaels. Of course, did lead the goal kicking for a little while, and then Lockie Pascoe got to work and quickly righted that from his perspective.
It's a great switch kick.
It was absolutely perfection.
But the size of this oval and Glenunga switched on defensively, they can't play on from that spot, which is what they would love to have done.
Well, he might have to go back. Bedford's pleading with him for the ball. He's ignored. Instead, it's a 45-degree angle kick just across the ground. Might work out okay. Players slipping and sliding. It's definitely wet underfoot. Just saw Scott Bedford try and go for a change of direction. Wasn't quite able to get there, and his legs went from underneath him. So now it is with the player there with Smith. So Smith decides to go up. Big fly at the back of the pack, though. Offman wasn't quite able to hang on to it. Higgins, he was in position A1, ended up taking the ball. And he's kicking to the centre of the ground. This is better here. This is what they wanted to do before. Belperio gave it to the running Carruthers. Carruthers, another miracle. Might work out okay. Oh, into the post. Crunch to Soto. And he'll be sore. And he's also getting a little bit of afters for no reason in particular. Maybe he said something.
Game's just changed, hasn't it? St. Peter's found 3 or 4 really good passages of play, some switch, some ball movement, and starting to win the ball out of the stoppage as well. Glenunga, like a settler.
Oh, wouldn't they love a settler? They just need just something to right the ship as it just keeps bobbing in some waters at the moment. Not that there is a lot of water around Webb Oval, unless you count the rain. So the ball goes inside. And off pretty quickly there as 2 players flew through it. Carruthers waited down. He was one of 3 St. Peter's players that were there. Where were their Glenunga opponents? Well, that's what the coaching staff will be asking. As Stuart Rattray gets it inside forward 50. Now it's 3 Glenunga players waiting behind the ball. Hanging on, though. It's a free kick, and that will be very, very disappointing because Michaels has ended up with the ball here for St. Peter's.
Yeah, just a little hold of the jumper there. Not a hell of a lot in it, but when you're a forward, you certainly take him, but what you need to do is kick accurately to make the opposition pay. It's had a quiet day. Michaels hasn't been easy for any of the forwards out here today. It's been a very tough, stoppage-dominant defensive game. Let's see what he can do.
So Michaels steps in, kicks, a goal. And I tell you what, Spock, for the first time since the early stages in this one, hit the front.
Yeah, the game's just swung dramatically, really, in St. Peter's favour in the last 10 minutes. We've been talking early in the quarter about how it was a stoppage fest. St. Peter's couldn't get any flow in their game at all. No handball chains, no switches of the play, no nice entries inside 50. But in the last 10 minutes, it's opened up for them. They've had some nice ball movement. They've kicked 2 goals out of stoppage. And now Michaels, their leading goal kicker, has gotten involved. So looking very much like a nice little swing in St. Peter's favour. They take a 2-point lead very deep into this last quarter. This is a second quarter, sorry. This is a centre bounce you'd love to win.
Absolutely. Who's going to win this game now? Well, we're not real close. We're halfway through. And we've got a Glenunga that is resemblant of their team in 2024, which is good. As there goes the halftime siren. 5-4-34 plays 5-6-36. We'll follow up on that thought there after these ad breaks, because I tell you what, a game of footy is what we've got. 2 points of lead towards the Stockers.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New Hyoketsu. Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep. Basically, since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
It's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again. It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
G'day everybody, welcome back here as we have a look at the halftime scores thanks to BTR Excavations. We're going around the grounds and we're going to start at Ross Trevor, 5'8", place 4'1", 25 Broadview. Hanging about 13 points down. You wouldn't think for Broadview at the minute, but they are playing some very good football.
Yeah, just kicking accurately, Broadview. If you do that, hang in, low-scoring game. Not over yet.
Going across at Prince Alfred, 2-3-15. Salisbury North, 3-7-25. The potential of an upset again on the cards there, 10 points, another low-scoring game of footy.
Yeah, there's a few low-scoring games around, isn't it, apart from the bottom game. But yeah, low-scoring games. Or you saw it here before, looked like Glenunga were all over them. 3 quick goals and you're back in the lead. So yeah, low-scoring game, you can get an upset.
There you go, 5-4-34, plays 5-7-37. We'll save our judgment on this game for the time being. 1-5-11, plays 3-2-20. Opportunity for Payneham Norwood Union to cause a massive upset against Sacred Heart, as out come a probably resurgent St. Peter's, who'll be feeling a lot better at halftime than they were with 10 minutes to go in that second quarter.
Yeah, the last 10 minutes they owned, didn't they? Just looked like them. They were able to switch the ball, a bit of class around the stoppage, get some handball chain out of the stoppage, which led to 2 of their 3 goals. So, yeah, they turned it around quickly. Glenunga just need to reset. They just turned off for 10 minutes, didn't they? Now they found themselves down after really playing good football for the first 45, 50 minutes of the game. So, still game on here. Glenunga would have taken a 3-point deficit at half-time.
Oh, absolutely.
Need to find a couple of goals with their dominance. First quarter, they were so efficient. Second quarter, had a lot of entries and only kicked 1 goal. So, that's the game in a nutshell at the moment.
Yeah, of course, that goal went to Opperman for Glenunga. It was Bedford, Carruthers and Michaels who ended up on the board as well. That was Bedford's second, one of the first goals to start the second quarter there, as Bedford entered Cesare also scored in the first there, and Wisman, Smith, Davis and Marini in the first. So 5 goal kickers there, 4 for Spock as well. So a really even spread from both teams. Can we read too much into that, or is that just, players when the opportunity strikes them taking their chances?
Yeah, none of the key forwards. Nobody's really on top in the forward line, aren't they? Michael's kicked a late goal there, but it was from a free kick. He's had to come up high at the field to get some disposals. We haven't seen many marks inside 50 at all for either team. Both teams' defences have been on. The pressure skills have been up. There's been a lot of high balls inside 50, difficult for the forwards to mark. So what they need is their ground level players to get on. And we saw, didn't we? It was... it was Ty Bedford, 2 classy goals out of stoppage. Hasn't had huge numbers today, Ty, but 2 classy goals out of stoppage is the difference in the game. Yeah,
he's been really, really good, I think, Ty Bedford today. He's a special player, I think, sometimes when he's able to get off the chain, when he's able to break away from stoppage. Glenunga have led him today, and it'll be interesting to see whether or not they do clamp his influence on this game. You think that if he kicks another 2, Spocko's probably win the game.
Oh, yeah, he's that player with a touch of class. This is what finals look like a lot. They're dour affairs with a lot of pressure and a lot of, ugly football, you can call it. And you need players like him with class that can just kick some goals out of stoppage, take half chances. So, well done to him so far. Glenunga need to get a body on him. But, yeah, Glenunga would be happy with how they played for 80% of that half. Just need to keep their pressure skills up because St. Peter's, like I said, if you do give them a little bit of time and space, they're probably the best kicking and running team in the competition.
Well, I mean, they're right in the hunt as well for that flag. I think I said it on Between the Posts last week. By the way, you can check that out. That'll be out Tuesday or Wednesday, but you can certainly check that out in the midweek. It'll be pretty interesting as well to see, I guess, kind of how that finals race sort of shapes up. Glenunga, you'd think are out of it now. You'd be doubtful they can play finals. But you have a look across the other side. St. Peter's, Ross Trevor, Port District, Golden Grove. A massive combination there of teams. There's 4 just to name. I probably definitely have missed some there. Salisbury North are another one that are involved in that race. But yeah, there is plenty of teams here in this division. We're over halfway through the season, nearing 2/3 of the way through, and we're still no closer to really deciding who's going to be in the top 5.
Yeah, obviously Port Districts deserve the position they're in, being top of the ladder, but it's pretty even, right? We saw Sacred Heart were dominated the top of the ladder early in the season. Now they find themselves down in 4th, 5th position. Lose 2 games in a row, your whole season changes. So it's a really good competition this year. There's a relegation battle. There's Glenunga a part of that. Prince Alfred and Payneham need to win games to avoid the relegation. Then you've got 6 really good teams. One really good team's going to even miss the finals. Then you've got to jockey for the top 3 spots. It's very difficult to win a premiership from 4th and 5th, in my opinion. So you've got to try and finish in that top 3, make your life a little bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, finishing in that 4th or 5th position means you basically have to go 4 weeks playing your best footy. It's a hard thing to do. You've got to get through an elimination final, a semi-final, a prelim final, and then get through a team that probably has only played 1 game of football. At some points, that does start to become an advantage. We saw it in the sample last year with Glenelg, who because they went all the way through, played their best footy, came up against a Norwood side that was a little bit underdone. But it'll be interesting to see if a team from 4th or 5th can make a serious charge. I, for one, agree with you there, Adam. I don't think it's a possibility. But that is going to be answered much later in the season as we return back here. 5-4-34 plays 5-7-37. Big half of footy for both teams. Spocko's just a small advantage there as the ball gets cleared into the area there as Weeks falls over. Carlo Vasitas from half-back, able to start things again. Leading the race again for the football is a Glenunga player. We've said that a few times this afternoon, so it's pretty interesting as Wiseman gets a snap away. That was Scott Bedford who was waiting. His kick, there was a kick there from a Spocko player that managed to find DeCesare. DeCesare then wheels into the 45. Good area to have the football. And Carruthers is good hands to have it in. That's Malachi. He then sends it out, and a mark taken by Michaels. And Michaels might look to start the second half the same way he ended the first.
Yeah, that's a good start for St. Peter's, isn't it? Again, changing the angles, fat side to Michaels. Looked like he was going to get spoiled away, but he's just got sticky fingers and it's stuck. Kicked the last goal in the second quarter, and he's having a shot 1 minute in.
Let's see, does he kick a goal? It's been an arm wrestle so far. This would be Spocko's highest lead of the game. And the kick is on its way. It's across the face, though. Bone, did he hang on to what umpire said play on? Parsons got a finger touch on there. It was just enough to stop Big Fraser Bone being able to take a good mark, and the ball's going to go up again. So Bone does the rock work against West, loses down. Over the snap, Carruthers across the face. Weeks and Michaels were both there for Spock, but the ball's gone over and out. It bounced out, so it's going to be thrown back into play. Umpire almost had to go and retrieve it from inside the crowd. He runs back into position and gets ready to throw it back into play. Umpire brings it, as I said, back in. And there's a little bit of magic, a great little bit of work. But again, across the face, just a minor score.
Yeah, I think that was Nelligan that had the snap. But yeah, they're just getting a few shots and goal out of stoppage now. So just need to tighten up a little bit, Glenunga.
So another chance goes begging for the Rams. They'll be disappointed with that as the ball goes towards the outer side. Great grab.
Topperman again, he's had a really good game. And anytime he's been in that position, he's clunked the mark, come all the way up from full forward to give his team an outlet.
Absolutely, it's what you need sometimes, just a forward that's able to work remotely. Of course, I guess kind of with the economy being what it is, you've got to be able to do a few positions. This ball goes up towards the 50. Big fly, oh, well done. Sticky Mitts hangs onto it again, it's Opperman. He's got super glue on his hands or something, Adam.
Yeah, he's up and about today, isn't he? He took the mark at half back, then he's worked back to the next contest after delivering the ball. So well done to him. Be about 50 metres out here, but he is a raking kick and he looks confident. So hopefully he's got the distance in him. Another good contested mark by Opperman. Well done to him.
Coming off 4 goals last week, so in some fine form at the minute. Of course, they did take on, I believe it was Prince Alfred last weekend, but I may have that wrong. This ball goes to have a look at the kick. On its way. Going towards the line. I think that one's gone through. Touched. Oh, Opperman can't believe it. A look of bewilderment almost. And a behind there as Glenunga closed the margin to 3 points. This is what it was at half time. We are around about a couple of minutes into this quarter. It's the ball. It's driven up the line. Oh, danger signs. That was a dangerous moment. And the Spock defence, their own worst enemies at the minute. Ball across. Parsons, snap on goal. Always shallow.
Taking a couple of risky kickouts, haven't they? St. Peter's, and they want to maintain possession. They don't want to kick to the Glenunga packs all day. So we understand it. But yeah, a couple of little dodgy ones, but Glenunga didn't make them pay. We saw Davis miss the set shot and the snap there. Didn't make them pay on the turnover.
Reid played forward at times this year. Seems to be just plugging a hole in the defence. Rundle's a big out. He's not out there today. So maybe filling in for him.
Beautiful long kick.
That was a great ball. That's ended up nearly halfway to Adelaide as the ball goes inside. Still the forward 50. They sit. Michaels. McGill was the intended target. McGill goes body instead of ball. Potentially a mistake. Paddled towards the line by Smith. I didn't have control of it, umpire, he says. And I think he fooled nobody, but it's going to be thrown back in anyway.
Great transition there by St. Peter's. They took a couple of dodgy short kickouts in that occasion. Johnny Reid just banged it 60 metres into the middle of the ground, and bang their inside 50 straight away.
Umpire wipes the footy. Gets ready to throw it back in. 1, 2 big swings. The ball leaves his hands and we are away again. As it's cleared. It's a good kick just towards the outer side. Big fist. And that is collected. Snapping footy up towards Davis. Ball sits. It's collected at the back. Allen needs to get a hand pass through. Does well. And that is a good kick up the line that's worked out okay. It's ended up with Trigarkis. So Trigarkis goes high up and under ball. Collected there by Marini. Marini able to give it across towards Carlo Vasitas. Carlo Vasitas found another runner. And still down the line they go. Wonky. Not his most extravagant mark today. Decides Davis is the option. But Wisman was there to crumb. Inside and a great defensive grab. Did the umpire give it? Umpire said no. So ball sits on the deck. Picked up somehow Opperman. A diving, desperate Bedford. A poster either way. That was great. That was a great effort by both Opperman and Bedford. I mean, I know Bedford didn't end up affecting the contest, but still really great to be able to dive like that for the football. And Opperman, obviously, a classy finish.
Game just opened up a little bit, hasn't it? We've seen a little bit of ball movement end to end there, where we saw so many stoppages in the first half.
So Bedford to Bedford, and now Carruthers. Malachi variety there. The Stuart Rattray with the bandage gives it back to Bedford. Just kept running there, did Scott. Excellent effort from him. As the ball goes towards Ed Allen. And the captain has an opportunity at goals. He's probably thinking inside the forward line, what is this place? As he flicks it across towards Malachi Carruthers. And he's a lot more accustomed to where he needs to be.
Yeah, we saw him kick a beautiful long goal. He had a set shot from the pocket. We didn't get any momentum, but with this range, he'll get some momentum and he should be able to bang this through.
So maybe the class of Spock just guiding them in the direction they need to go. Umpire. Well, in the end, as Carruthers just lines up and he kicks it across the face. That was never troubling anyone. Umpire gives us the signal. So behind is a little jog there.
It's been good Malachi Carruthers though. He's getting a lot of playing midfield, getting behind the ball, getting lots of possession, as well as getting forward, having shots on goal. It's looking very damaging. Glenunga found a target on the kick out wide.
That one has ended up over the line. And it's thrown back off. Butterworth, oh, I'm not sure that one was there. And there's plenty of question marks there from the Spocko players. Butterworth was turned around. The ball was thrown back to him and the umpire gave a 25-metre penalty. Either way, ends up back inside there from Glenunga. Smith gets a little pass off and that's collected by Belperio almost. And that's going to be a ball up.
Yeah, he's a little bit unlucky there, wasn't it? He's throwing the ball back. He's just turned his back, so whether he did it on purpose or not. Maybe technically it's there, but maybe in the spirit of the game, no 25 there as Smith comes through the stoppage.
Well, his kick there, Adam, is all kinds of offline there. Might have hit the belly of the ball. Either way, it's going to be a free kick there for Spock, and Spock get it started again. Carruthers, who seems to be touching it every 3 or 4 disposals for the visitors, has a couple of options inside. Which one does he pick? Ignores both of them. Thought better of it. Potentially was chopped off there by Glenunga. Of course, the dimensions of the ground make it very easy to stop a switch. Oh, big fly, and well done from Bone. Just came from the back. And I know we call McRae from Sacred Heart the Bone Crusher, but that was certainly bone crushing as the ball starts to work its way through Belperio. He gives a hand pass. And that is, might work out okay. Little hand pass across. Scott Bedford tried to join his cousin, on the score sheet. That was knocked across, and that is a behind.
And just transitioning the ball well now, aren't they, St. Peter's? They first 45 minutes of the game, they weren't able to go coast to coast at all, but now they'll be able to get the ball in defensive 50, find an angled kick or a contested mark, and away they go.
So a scoreline of just 4 points is a different 36 plays at 40. As the umpire says, circling, says, hold the ball. So a free kick there going the way of Faye.
Always a little bit unlucky to the player on the bottom of the pack there, sat upon, but that is the way football's adjudicated these days. The old-timers would hate those holding the balls, but that was probably there.
Fay runs around their man on the mark. It's a little bit of distance and then a big mark at the back there. Carruthers might have ended up with the ball. Either way, came from Carlo Vasitas. He's then intercepted, going to get the footy back from Wiseman, and then across, looking at goal. Kick is on its way, and it's there. And Abel puts him back in front.
Yeah, good goal on the turnover there. We've mentioned that St. Peter's has started taking some few risks, but Glenunga haven't been able to make any of the turnovers pay. But on that occasion, a beautiful draw and give there. And when you're strolling inside 50 from 35, you should kick it. And a good goal for Glenunga as the game's opening up a little bit. Which team can capitalise on turnover? Glenunga did on that occasion.
So, a couple of players changing position. DeSera comes off, Bennett comes on. There's an interesting little discussion here just between the coaching staff. It'll be interesting to see which way that ends up. As it looks like Bedford's going to be able to get it out. He does, has a little semicircle and then finds a leading player. Ball given across there from Nelligan. And Nelligan with a flash of speed and a little bit of brilliance goes towards goal and misses. 6-7 plays 5-10. Spock potentially will rue their missed opportunities there in terms of goals and behinds. As the footy gets towards the outer side, intercepted. Ed Allen chopped it off, spun round. Kick might still work out for Darkus with a little bit of a dance step. Good mark from Weeks, and Wiseman unhappy, but unfortunately there is ignored. Weeks goes towards the hot spot. Kalavasitis was waiting down, Higgins was waiting on him, and the umpire says, we're going to ball that one up, gentlemen.
Glenunga need to be tight here. You can see Ty Bedford just lurking. But Glenunga are all over him at the moment.
Twice punished by him, and doesn't look like they're gonna get hurt 3 times as the ball gets snapped back across. That is a good mark there in the defensive end. So Smith takes his time, as Agar there, and had to use him really. No options ahead of him. St. Peter's brilliantly set up. Clearly trained to play here. It's, again, a little bit different from each ground, as both differs ground to ground depending on where you go here in the Adelaide Footy League. That's, I guess, kind of the great thing about this competition. There's no real standardised dimensions, not that there ever is in any game of football, but it is very different down here at Glenunga to any other ground. As the ball goes inside forward 50. And that is a great grab. Defensively, Smith's done it again.
Yeah, he's had another good game. Zach Smith, that's a fantastic intercept mark, big pack. Yeah, he's a hard man to get through.
He is indeed. As towards the outer side we go. That is with Weeks, and still they try and burrow their way through. Running towards the line. Bedford held his hands out and said, come on, surely that one's deliberate. Opperman says, no way, and that one's thrown back to the umpire. Umpire taking the side of the Glenunga player there. We wait. And still we wait, and Abe Davis just took it out of the ruck. Looked like there were 2 ruckmen there. I'm not sure Abe Davis was the intended ruckman then, but either way, ball's now with Ed Allen at the back of the pack. He's able to give it across towards Nelligan, and Nelligan, off a step, launches it inside forward 50, and Bones taking a grab.
Yeah, we saw him took a big mark on the wing about 5 minutes ago. It's been a quiet day thus far, but that's 2 really good contested marks by the big fella. And what his team desperately needs, Lockie, is a straight shot on goal here. That's a really good contested mark.
Everyone takes a moment. Bone assesses his options, draws in his breath, wipes his hands down. Through the routine. He's on the runway. For Spock to regain the lead. Kick. Oh, that is not great. That's very disappointing for them. Behind 5-11, plays 6-7, a 2-point ball game.
Seen a few games this year there, kicking at goals, let them down a bit. Broadview didn't cost them.
7-24 that day.
Yeah, so when they get to September, they'll want to nail them. A great mark all the same.
It was a great mark. Funnily enough as well, 7-24, that was the week where Mike O'Leary was made coach of the week. I told him in the rooms after the game. His reaction was, I didn't know 7-24 got you coach of the week, but okay, we'll take it. As the ball goes inside. A great mark taken there by Henry. I'm sure he's drank all those wines, O'Leary, by now. It was a few weeks ago.
Let's hope so. There's plenty more where that came from as well. Seeing a lot of intercept marks being taken now by the Glenunga Tools. And again, Smith.
Oh, yeah. Smith are very unhappy. He's screamed back at the umpire. Where was the holding? That's what the free was given for. As it goes up the line. Bedford! Well, I'm not sure how Ty's done that. Umpire said it was play on. He snapped towards goal. Bouncing in the pocket, bouncing in the square, and in the end, big moment there as Jack Scott fists it across and gets hurt.
Yeah, a little unlucky in the wing there, Zach Smith. That's just good body work, but that's all right. Those things happen in football. Again.
Have a look at the replay here as well. Yeah, I'm not quite sure that you can punish a player there as Bone lost his footing.
You can see St. Peter's, though, they're getting plenty of opportunities yet to score a goal this quarter, though. Lockie, I think we've got them down for 5 or 6 behind so far this quarter.
Yeah, they've had their moments. And I'm just going to look there at one of the players who was in the hands of the doctors, but it's worked out okay. It was a player wearing the strip of Glenunga. The ball is picked up. Davis pushes McGill out the way. The big bulldozer comes through. Meantime, back on the action, it's with Smith. Smith had to kick it, was walking the tightrope at the boundary line. There's a great grab though. Backing back, Weeks. Able to just wrap it up. Not very often you see a player going in and able to take it with a chest mark. The modern game doesn't really allow it with how close players follow each other. But I had it described to me before the game. Glenunga play a very aggressive style of man-on-man, so there won't be too many chest marks taken against them. As the ball goes inside and it's collected at the back there, Carlo Vasita sends it back. Big fist from West towards the line. Picked up, snapped. Ianello high up and under. Big fist towards the line. And Faye, going back to the days of kindergarten, he's ended up in the sandpit.
Said earlier in the quarter, the game's opened up a bit, but just the one goal scored so far in the quarter. So both teams' defences, as they have been most of the day, well on top at the moment. Both teams struggling to find a winner inside 50.
Somewhere around about, I know it says 13 on the clock, but it'll be closer to around about 16 or 17 minutes gone in this quarter. As the ball comes down. Carlo Vasitas gives it towards Smith. Smith ran out of room. That is going to be a last disposal free kick. They're going away with St. Peter's. So St. Peter's with the ball. Ianello. What happened there? Smith just ran off the mark. Ianello took the advantage. And in the end, picked out a pretty resilient Jack Scott, who's back up. He was in the hands of the trainers because he did take a little bit of a knock in his previous marking contest. That time he took the ball. Much more of an advantageous response for him. Decides towards the outer side is where he'll go. Oh, Wonky. Punt it.
Just what his team needed there. They just struggled to get the ball out of the defensive 50 in the last few minutes. Big contested mark on the wing by Wonky, and they should be able to get through.
Fragakis turns, high up and under ball. Abe Davis came charging out, wasn't to be. Pridham. That one's going to be a ball up there. No one was able to get that one out. Go again. That one might come out for Bedford. Not quite. It's picked up instead. Bouncing ball towards the wing. Or towards half forward, really. As the ball's fired back there. Given back across, getting towards the boundary line. Does it get there? It doesn't. They keep it in. Little fend off. That was good. Belperio fended off the attack of DeSera twice. And DeCesare's ended up on the wing with the ball. Took a convincing mark ahead of his direct opponent. Bedford, a couple of calls there of inside, ignored instead, and that is with Carruthers. Carruthers then a little dribbler. Might work out okay for Nelligan. Nelligan fired it back towards Belperio. Belperio, tackle, and that is holding the ball. Excellent tackle and excellent reward there for a little bit of effort for Glenunga. As they play on nice and quickly. And towards the 50 line. No one quite there able to grab it. Offman, he's been dangerous. Loving life in the 13 and the 38 this season. Been one of the most improved players, I think, at Glenunga. As here it goes. The seas parted. The doors opened. Whichever one you want to use in terms of metaphors, as DeCesare kicks the goal. He's got another one.
Find the goal that they need. I think they kicked 6 behinds for the quarter, hadn't they, Lockie? So De Cesare, I think that's his second for the day. Much needed. They just got the fast break there. Beautiful handball over the top. Composed himself. His forwards ran back to goal to give him the space, and he put it through from about 40 on the run in the end. So well done to De Cesare. Just the goal that St. Peter's needs. It's been just pinging back and forth, hasn't it, for the last 5 to 10 minutes? St. Peter's first goal for the quarter after having a fair bit of football inside 50.
Yeah, did a great job. The Kieran Hayeketsu scoreboard, of course, bringing us that one 6-7-43, plays 6-12-48, a 5-point ball game. So get ready to go again. Ball goes up and West gets it out. Turning ball that's just might work out okay. Allen in the 37, able to get it forward there for Spock, and they might go again through Carruthers. Carruthers out of side, marked by McGill. Not really sure where to go. Just says, well, I'll go for home if no one really wants to give me an option. But I'm not sure he's got this one in him.
Yeah, let's see what he does here. He might to just feign the kick at goal and go to the top of the square or look for a late lead. I'm not sure if he's got the range in him, but he's an experienced player. McGill, been around a long time. He knows what to do with the ball.
McGill. Shot is a little bit wonky, and that one is well and truly out of bounds.
Yeah, he's normally a beautiful user of the ball, McGill, around the ground, but just out of his range there, just went out, hook it wide, and just struck the inside of his foot.
So we're about to get started again. A long footy. Almost works its way out, doesn't quite. Still they work hard, and that one is going to be a free kick there, going the way of the player there in Faye. Faye then gave it across towards Stragarkis. And was there a free kick? There was, going the way there of Wonky. So big, very hard to move. Back into the lineup this week as well. As the ball goes towards Davis, he's there. Tapped down, potentially. No one able to quite get that one on the boot. It bounces away, and that one is going to end up over. Smith falls down in a heap. So the umpire says it's going to go the way of Allen. And it is the last touch rule there. Allen lines, well, was trying to line up Bone, wasn't able to do that. Smith there as well, got his hand on the football. It's going to be a ball up. He had his hand on the football like he was willing to flick it back for a quarterback throw, but it wasn't quite to be there. Couldn't get that one out. As we go up again. Third man up there from Bedford. Tried something, didn't quite work out there, but, 99 points for trying there. As Bone gets it forward. Bedford still there. Carruthers inside. A little dribbler might work out okay. As that one gets cleared from its defensive end. And that is coming back the other way here. In towards a couple of St. Peter's forwards. No one really able to affect the contest. McGill rolls it out wide. Ianello chasing back after it. Tragarkis wrapped up by Bedford. He was all over him. He clamped on. And the umpire says it's going to be a ball up. Not rewarded, but a good tackle either way. As there's a player there. Parsons just came hobbling to the bench. So just something to keep an eye on. The ball's tapped back. Might work its way forward again. Well done, Ty Bedford. Able to give a little bit of a fend off, then gives the ball across to his captain. Inside. Bouncing ball, snapped by Higgins. And Higgins kicks a goal. Spockos out to a game-high 11-point lead for them.
Yeah, just took a little half opportunity there. Higgins, haven't called his name a lot, have we? But that was just a timely goal for his team. Actually made that look easy. That was a really good pick up and onto the boot in a jiffy. Really good snap for goal there by Higgins. Just starting to get on top, aren't they? They've kicked inaccurately this quarter. 2 goals, 6 by my count. So they could have gone ahead a little bit further. It's only 11 points of difference. So I think Glenunga would be pretty keen on a centre clearance and a goal, next goal.
Of course, 20 minutes, 49 seconds roughly. It'll probably be a little bit later than that as well. Could be another 3 or 4 minutes. Of course, the timer on the scoreboard not reliant to how much we have. As The ball from Bedford gets out. Carruthers. Stuart Rattray. Big fist. Might work out okay here. They try to go charging through. Michaels was dumped. Bedford's back on it. Gives it across towards Scott Bedford. He, with no other options, punts it. And it works out okay. McGill came sliding in, able to take a pretty good mark.
This is more McGill's range here. He won't have to wheel out to his right. It's normally a very straight kick. So we'll see if he can make up for his last shot here. But yeah, they're just getting on top now, aren't they? St. Peter's had a lot of field position going for their third goal in a row, which in a low-scoring game, a 17-point margin going into three-quarter time will be reasonably significant.
McGill lines up. On its way, and he's got it. Excellent effort there from Ben McGill.
He's just drifted forward a couple of times. He normally patrols across half back, but I called it early. That was more his range. He's a really good kick, McGill. Not from 55, but more from 35. Did not look like missing goal. Umpire did not have to move. Alarm bells now for Glenunga. I know it's only 17 points, but really they've kicked 4 early goals in this game. They've only managed 2 since, Lockie. So they need to find a way to just get inside 50, kick the next goal, keep that belief up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, while the scoreboard does say 17 points, it has been nearly 6 of the last 8, sorry, have gone the way of Spock. So there's a real drama in the air, I guess, if you kind of look at it from that perspective, where the momentum is well and truly with Sacred Heart. They've also now got the lead in this contest. Faye, he's going to have the ball, but he's hobbling a lot. That could be a problem. They can barely afford to lose, Declan Spark there, as he gets it off of half back and goes forward. Should be picked up there and almost is as the ball gets worked out. Bedford, little hand pass across. Excellent effort there from Ty. He was able to get the ball released. And now Scott Bedford goes inside forward 50. Crunching. There is three-quarter time. And it has been the Spockos quarter. 8-12-60 plays Glenunga 6-7-43. What can we expect in the last quarter? Can Glenunga get a fight back? Well, as always, stay tuned. Find out on the other side of this.
Get a quick and easy low-rate car loan from Police Credit Union today.
New 氷結 Vodka, soda, and frozen natural fruit juice. Hello, yes.
We've been housemates for, what, nearly 4 years?
Yep, basically since I started my uni degree and you got your apprenticeship.
Yeah, it's been really good. Like, it's the little things, you know? Like, one of us is always around to house it when the other goes on holiday. And one of us is always ready to help the other out of jam.
I don't know. Yeah, happen again.
It's usually me. My HEC stat doesn't leave a lot of room for holidays or working transportation or food. But it's worth all the debt, right?
No.
But what about your debt?
Debt isn't a problem for me. I get paid to learn.
You belong in blue. Apply for a career with South Australia Police.
Well, here we are, everybody, ready and primed for a big final quarter. A 17-point deficit here. Glenunga must overcome. 6-7-43, the home team. The visiting Spocko, 8-12-60. They've been so good today there, Adam.
Yeah, they just got in top in that quarter, didn't they? They didn't pile on the goals. Kicked 3 late ones. And they came really late too, didn't they? So, but they had a lot of field position. Like we said before, Glenunga competed really well today and played some pretty solid football at times. But I said they kicked 4 goals very early in this match, only 2 since. So what do they need? They probably need to kick 5 goals in this last quarter potentially to win the game, which they're capable of doing. We've seen it done before. It's not an insurmountable lead. They need the first goal. You kick the first goal here early, a lot of belief will grow with them. They'll head down the hill to the left where you can get a little bit of momentum. But yeah, St. Peter's just managed to win the arm wrestle in that third quarter, which is impressive by them. This is one of those tricky fixtures where you can come out, a bit of a soggy day, Glenunga on their home patch trying to avoid relegation, and you find themselves down. They were down 5-2 at one point, weren't they? So, but they've just turned the arm wrestle back in their favour quite impressively, and potentially could be further in front with some accurate shooting in that third quarter.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going around the grounds as well. Ross Trevor Broadview, an upset potentially on the cards. 4 points there. Salisbury North look to have it wrapped up against Prince Alfred. Obviously 17 points here at our game. Sacred Heart, 15 points to the good against Payneham Norwood Union, and Golden Grove have got the job nearly done against Port District. They are 50 points to the good, so it looks pretty much like we've got 3 games that are still up for grabs. Glenunga St. Peter's, which is where we are, Payneham Sacred Heart, and Ross Trevor and Broadview. It couldn't for the Tigers, could it? Finally, is today the day? Lord above, please have mercy on those Tigers.
Yeah, it's important for Ross Trevor. They don't want to lose that game because of where the ladder is. But I wish Broadview well, and I hope they win the game, because it's not fun going 0-18. We'd love to see them go 1-17, sneak a win. I think that'd be really good for them. So let's see what happens.
It would give them some kind of, not belief because of where they sit, I guess, kind of on the ladder, but it would give them something to cling to next year. We stayed in Division 1 for a couple of seasons. We won a game of footy in that last year, the year from hell, when we had some youngsters coming through. We're going back to Division 2. Let's see how we go.
It just gives them a bit of something to go on for the rest of the season as well. Football's a grind when you're at that stage of the ladder. It's not fun for anybody going to training, getting strapped for games, when you know you're going out to lose games of football. Get that win. It's amazing what winning does, Lockie. Makes everyone feel good.
Yeah, it does. It's all of a sudden it's a little bit easier to go out in the cold on a Tuesday and Thursday and train. But it should be pretty interesting to see. Nevertheless, speaking of wins, they desperately need one now, St. Peter's. Glenunga, they just need to win 2 of their last 6, and you think they're probably safe. They've got enough points. They say in England that 40 is the magic number. I think here it's about 15, and you're probably okay, and you should stay up. The ball gets cleared there by Abe Davis. His direct opponent, Ty Bedford, a couple of goals for him, as does Lockie to Cesare. No multiple goal kickers there for Glenunga. Meanwhile, Ed Allen took a pretty good mark at the back there. Safe pair of hands he has. Clear towards the outer side, and it should work its way forward. Good tackle on Nelligan by Butterworth. Butterworth over his earlier ankle complaint. That's been resolved, and we should have a ball up. True centre wing right in front of the Webb Oval sign out there, looking spectacular. There's one behind us in the broadcast van as well. Picked up there, Higgins tried to work his way through. He was launched upon holding the ball. Free kick there, going the way of Abel, and Abel had a goal when the opportunity got there, able to get one on the run, and there's a good mark. And it's in the hands of Opperman. Opperman and Davis pretty much are the 2 players I see that have the potential to rip this game away from St. Peter's.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Opperman. I think he's been one of Glenunga's better players. He's probably been the best forward on the ground between both teams. The one forward that's been able to run and jump and take some contested marks. Only kicked the 1 goal, which when you're playing full forward, you say they had a quiet day, but he's had a really, really good day. Deserves a second here.
See, kick on its way. Goal. Opperman has a goal. And Glenunga have some life.
Yeah, just what the game needed, wasn't it? Like I said, he's had a really good game, Opperman, taking 6 or 7 really good, strong, contested athletic marks around the ground. Nice shot for goal too, just easily through. Exactly what the game needed. Get that first goal, Glenunga. St. Peter's might just tighten up a little bit. Get back to the centre bounce, see what they can do.
Big game of footy lots on the line here for both teams. Glenunga a step towards safety. For Spock, a win, a step towards the top two. Desperately, you would suspect Port District, despite the fact they are losing at Golden Grove, to finish top as the ball goes inside 450 from Fay. From there, though, it is really all open. Pridham gave a hand pass across. Edward Allen got it forward. There goes Bedford. Bedford left it behind. Fay flicked it across. Marini, he couldn't from there. He couldn't from there. He could from there. He's missed.
That would have been one hell of a
wow.
great fend off, and he only had a split second to get the ball onto his left foot. Just drifted across the face. Great centre clearance by Glenunga. Good start to the last quarter by them.
All about to come back in now. So a long kick down the centre of the ground. That's almost picked up, not quite. Little dribbler through the legs. Oh, good tackle there. Again, latched onto him. Did Nelligan. That one is going to be a ball up.
Umpire's paid holding the ball. Can St. Peter's get him on the quick counter-attack? Just lost a few seconds getting the ball back there to big Stuart Rattray.
Well, a few seconds might make all the difference there, and Smith has gone down in the centre of the ground. He got a little bit of a knock, so hopefully he's okay. Just had a little bit of fisticuffs there without any real malice. Just a couple of players pushing each other, jostling position. He ends up going down. Meantime, clearance goes back in line with where the kick was on the near side. Then it's just cleared by Stuart Rattray again. Probably should have been marked then and wasn't. Had to go in and try and win his own ball. Wasn't quite able to there. That was to Cesare, who was fighting there. Lisbon just flicks it over the top. Give it across. Still Smith. Gave it to Bennett. Ball just goes up and under. And umpires paid a mark there to Higgins. Was it 15? Umpire said yes.
A little deceiving when the ball goes that high, isn't it? We're not sure it travelled 15 metres in distance.
Of course, it doesn't matter in terms of how much vertical it goes. It has to go horizontally 15 metres. Could go 1,000 metres in the air, but if it only travels 1 metre across the ground, the umpires will call play on. Kick back across. Ends up there in the hands of Higgins. Back forward, or Edward Allen was arriving quickly, top of the arm, so it might be okay. A little bit of argy-bargy going on between Bedford and between Carlo Vasitas. And the ball's going to end up there in the hands of Bedford. Bedford's got Higgins sprinting for him. Higgins is going to be used. Here he goes, and he's away. Down the line, big mark taken. It's in the hands of Nelligan there, and the former red leg gets it into the area. Across they fly. Bone was there. Tackle laid. Ball up.
Needed to get back to their strong, grim defending here, Glenunga. Like I said, they started the quarter well, only kicked the one goal. Don't want to let St. Peter's get the reply.
Absolutely. As it works its way towards the front of the stoppage, they might be able to get a hand pass up. They do. Working it forward and away. A bounce. A kick towards Wonky. He's the target. Used his body spectacularly. He's got a player on. It's Opperman again. It's still Opperman. Opperman finds Smith.
Great counter-attack there, wasn't it, Lockie? Let's go back to the first quarter, wasn't it, where we saw Glenunga 2 or 3 times. We were able to go coast to coast. Great composure and short ball use. They would have been tempted to blaze to the goal square then. Great mark by Wonky. He's had a really good second half. Taken some good contested marks. And again, Opperman would have been tempted to blaze away, but a nice little pass to Smith.
And Smith with the most important kick of the day. Makes no mistake. So Glenunga, they close the gap to just 4 points. Smith second, one in the first term for him as well. No one has kicked 3 goals yet on today. Bedford 2, Cesare 2, Opperman and Smith now with 2 for Glenunga. And all of a sudden, this game is right back on.
Yeah, we said in low-scoring games, you can look out of it, can't you? But then they've come out and kicked 2 quick goals, and it's game on. Pressure back onto St. Peter's. Just come out a little bit flat in this last quarter. Pressure skills been a little bit off. They need a centre clearance. They need some territory. They need to lock the ball in their front half, score the next goal.
Ball goes up. And it works its way through Pridham. Then Smith. then picked up. Bedford gets it across towards Nelligan. Nelligan, the running man, gets it across towards Carruthers. And now Ty Bedford for number 3. Finds another.
Doesn't get a lot of disposals around the ground, doesn't he? But when he gets it, something good's happening for his team. And he's just able to track forward there as the handball chain unopposed. And again, he made that look easy, but there's pressure coming to him on his right. Just nonchalantly one step, kicked it from 45. Quiet day, but 3 goals in a low-scoring game. Big goal there as well. Well done to Bedford.
9-12, plays 8-8, a margin of 66. Kieran Hayuketsu's scoreboard. This one's going down to the wire. How fun is this? Adelaide Footy League, round 13. You'd be forgiven for thinking these two teams are playing finals. One probably will, one 90% won't, barring a miracle. And let's see, can they end up being the September spoilers, Glenunga, for Spock and for the rest of the season. There's a big mark. It's an important mark, and it is taken there by Butterworth. Butterworth yet to kick a goal today. Does he look... He's not the likely type in terms of goal kicking.
I think what happened there, West didn't really strike that well. He only kicked about 40 metres instead of the usual 50 and just caught the pack unawares, and Butterworth was able to just sit in front and clunk it. Can he give him the quick reply from 45 out?
You know, he didn't end up with one last week. Butterworth kicks on its way, just the wrong side of the post for him. So unlucky. And a margin now of just 9 points. Big stretch on the bench. I'm just having a look there as Faye gets himself ready to go. A couple of arm circles and then a back stretch. Meantime, the kick out from St. Peter's. Big ball. They're just going for distance there. That was clever from DeSera. Got it forward again. Inside forward 50 it ends up. Collected there by Higgins. Higgins turns. Good drive out of defence from him. And here we go. Bedford, the running man, picks it up. Gives it across towards Nelligan. Nelligan streaming in. It's 15 points. And he's happy with it too. I'm not sure if the dive was intentional, but he's got the goal anyway.
Yeah, great counter attack goal by St. Peter's and a great response to the fast start for this last quarter by Glenunga. Once the ball gets over the back and Scott Bedford has the ball in his hands, good things are going to happen, aren't they? So yeah, they'll be disappointed there, Glenunga. They can't let the ball over the back. They usually don't. They'll normally put a big fist through that ball and get a stoppage. Ball over the back. Bedford on his own. Good composure by Nelligan. Looked easy, didn't it? But there's plenty of pressure coming, and he just composed for a few steps, put it through. Back to that little 15-point buffer. So now can Glenunga respond again?
Udare wins. Glenunga, they were 2 goals up. They're now 2 goals down. Well, they went 2 goals up. They got 2 goals to almost level it. Then ended up being 2 goals down again. A margin there of 15 points. Massive opportunity here for St. Peter's. They were challenged by the best Glenunga have to offer. Now, they need to go on and convert. Glenunga themselves will be desperate to make sure they convert. 10 minutes gone, which means there's somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes left in this game. Of course, that's taking away from time on. It'll be a ball up. We don't really know how long's left. The scoreboard you've got at home is the scoreboard we've got in front of us, and it counts up. It's a big fist there from Bedford. Brought forward. Rolling footy. Collected there. Still with Bedford. Bedford might... his hand pass might have been a little bit too hot because the player he's aiming for left it behind. Now there's going to be a ball up there. Umpire says on the 50 we'll have this one balled up. Glenunga still fighting hard. West gets it out. Snapped. It's brought down by Smith. Smith. Hand pass through. Still they work. They might be out. McGill, he's there. This could be the sealer. Bedford gives it across towards Nelligan. Nelligan gives it towards the player there it might still work out, and that is going to roll across the face. It was a fairly haphazard shot then from Henry.
I think the handle just went to the wrong guy in the end, didn't it? It looked like they were streaming through. Wouldn't have mind seeing a shepherd and let the guy facing goal continue to run. But always easy in the commentary box, isn't it? That would probably have been a sealer if they scored there, but still game on.
Bedford intercepts near enough to half forward. Gets it towards Allen. Allen. Well, just takes his time with no real option. Decides to go up towards the 50. Mark taken there. As they look and they wait. Michaels with the ball. Inside forward 50 is where it goes. Pack comes up. It's a free kick going the way, though, of the defenders. Glenunga resolute enough. There's a little bit of an issue there in terms of potentially a cramp. They're just...
Bit of carnage there, actually.
Yeah.
It was a big pack, wasn't it? There's about 3 or 4 guys down on the ground. Hopefully everyone's okay. Yeah, I think you're right. Might be a bit of cramp there, which is never fun.
Agar gave it across to Smith. Smith, there's a free kick that might be coming back here. It does end up in the hands of Glenunga. 13 minutes gone in this last quarter. Still the countdown continues. For St. Peter's, the siren can't come quick enough. Glenunga fans are probably happy to give it another couple minutes as the ball gets passed back. Pridham got it forward. High ball. Smith dancing through. Smith has missed.
It was a great front centre by Smith, wasn't it? He just dodged and that would have given his team half a chance. As it looks like Davis is pretty sore from that big marking contest. Hopefully he's just winded the big fella, nothing structural there.
A little bit of pain. He's hobbling along the trainer very quickly to him. Knowing Abe, though, he'll say, I'm fine, we'll deal with it afterwards. Kick towards the outer side. Big high ball, plenty fly. Palm for Carlo Vasitas. Carlo Vasitas gives it to Smith. And now they might still get away. Little handball inside. Belperio ran out of room. Bone gives it. McGill in. Got it. He's got it. And he's found Michaels, who turns around.
Yeah, well done. Well done to McGill. Just great composure going inside 50 on that occasion.
And all of a sudden, Michaels looks through the game. Kick, pretty good. They would challenge St. Peter's, but they might get there now. Michaels gets his second.
Yeah, it's a good call there by you, Lockie. They were challenged at the start of this last quarter, weren't they? And like a good team should do. If you want to win a premiership, this is what's going to happen. You're going to get challenged, and what they've done, they've gone and won the ball out of the centre. They defended grimly, put more pressure on, and they found the next 3 goals. So well done to them. That should be the sealer in a low-scoring game. You never always know, do you? But just had the answers, haven't they, St. Peter's? After a bit of a slow start, just got that nice little 20-point buffer now.
15 minutes gone in this quarter. Ball slapped down. That is going to be a ball up. Goes back down. Still might work their way out now, and they do. It's a good ball. Up and under from Carruthers. Big fist. Carlo Vasitas. Carlo Vasitas gave it across to Butterworth, who was trying to twist his way out. Did well. Still might work out okay. Carruthers, it might be a little bit of a party if they get this one now. Michaels and over line. Good defensive effort.
You feel like the sting's just gone out of Glenunga's tail a little bit, don't you? They're up and about, but probably realise it's a bridge too far now. But you don't want the margin to blow out either, do you? It could be percentage. It could be crucial. They want to play the game out.
Yeah, they need to. Same, of course, on the other foot there for St. Peter's. They cannot take their foot off the throttle just because they've got 2 points. We would suspect from here doesn't mean that they can do what they want and just relax. They've still got to work hard. An update from around the grounds as well. Broadview will be where a lot of attention turns, which we really can't blame you here. Ross Trevor kicked away 10-16-76. Broadview 7-6-48. 9:14:68 as Bedford kicks 4. Delicious from Ty Bedford. 2 in this quarter, 4 for the game. And I wonder what size Archie's he is.
Yeah, he's just shown a touch of class though, hasn't he? Like I said, he doesn't get a huge amount of possessions. But when he gets the ball, he's a hard man to stop. He's strong. And again, not even looking at the goals, 1 step, fend off, snap. And in a low-scoring game in an arm wrestle, 4 goals. Pretty good contribution there, Lockie.
Yeah, of course. Just having a look around the grounds as well. Salisbury North, they've got the job done there against Prince Alfred, one would suspect. Sacred Heart, 20 points up against Payneham Norwood Union, and Golden Grove had it done pretty convincingly against Port District. Last updated about an hour ago, they were 40 points up. Back in the centre we go. Ball comes down and should be slipping in the centre of the ground. That could be a bit of an issue. Picked back up. Still they work forward. Bedford came charging through. That's Scott Variety. Little handball that works out okay. And they might get away with it here. Oh, it's on now. And it is on. Bit of an armbar choke going on, but they will ignore that for now. Plenty of players, and here we go. Jumpers getting pulled. Cards will probably look... Well, they'll probably be getting active, the cards, but they're not there. Plenty pulled out. I wonder if there was something that was said. That has ended up in the hands there of McGill. McGill. And it loads up, or fly, and a great grab. And that was fantastic there. As over the top came Henry.
I think it's Ianello, I think. Yeah, it's Ianello's come down from the wing. And he's found the mark there.
Here's Ianello. He lines up. That's an opportunity. It's clunked a specky indeed as we get towards time on. 19 minutes gone. And he kicks a goal. No dramas at all. Ianello joins in the fun. And disappointing when you think about it from a Glenunga perspective, just how quickly they've faded out of this game. It was 4 points about 10 minutes ago. Now that margin is well and truly starting to stretch out beyond a comfortable place. Ianello embraces his teammates potentially. They've run out of petrol tickets, this young Rams team. But Spock, they should have nothing taken away from them there on the Dartfish. Brilliant work as they now lead this contest by 32 points. Back in the centre, we're about to go. They'll win this game. St. Peter's, they'll move on to next week's challenge. Pridham gives the hand pass. Michaels fends off. Michaels was nearly in trouble. The shot at goal. He's across the face. Bit disappointing there as the behind's given by against Temi. And it is a 31-point ball game. Margin high was that 32-point buffer before Temi went through and made the margin back to just 5 goals won.
Yeah, they won't want to fall away here, Glenunga, will they, Lockie? They probably played better than that 31-point margin, especially early in this last quarter. It got down to under a kick. Well done to St. Peter's, though, who've sprinted ahead.
And as crazy as it seems, Glenunga are the reason St. Peter's survived last year, of course. St. Peter's were the only team to beat them in the minor round last year as the ball's flicked back across, finds Allen. So they very possibly could have ended up only surviving by half a game in the end in percentage. They very possibly could have ended up in Division 2, Adam, which would have been a which would have been something interesting to watch, because obviously this game would not be happening here today, as there's a mark by Weeks and Weeks turns.
It's been a great turnaround by them, though, hasn't it? A team that was nearly relegated to a team that's probably almost going to be top of the ladder with Port District's score at the other venue. So still a lot of footy to be played this year, but they've been very, very impressive this year.
Yeah, absolutely they have. Adam Jeffries takes the headset off, and everyone knows what that means. It's time for the award winners. Who's got the votes? Who's got the Archies? Who's got the Belgravia? Who's got the Moseley team man? Who's got the Bianco magic moment? Well, you'll have to stay tuned to the post-game to find out. I'll be glued to it. I'll talk through the highlights as well, but the award show, that's really where Adam Jeffrey shines, along with his expert analysis of each and every match of the day stream. Kick on its way, meantime, party time. Brilliant kick there as well. And they get around him. Excellent effort. It's just been a brilliant, brilliant game of footy. And that there is DeSoto, who's ended up on the board. So that very possibly may be DeSoto's first goal at A-grade level. Brilliant work. And the perfect way, the perfect cherry on top of a pretty nice looking Sunday now for Spockos. 14-12-96, plays 8-9-57. Kieran Hayuketsu, they brought you the scoreboard today. Hello, yes, Kieran Hayuketsu. Them Farmers Leap, fantastic drops. Coach of the week. Mike O'Leary's already been it. So if you win it once, you're ineligible to win it again. So you can't go rampaging through, pardon the pun, as Abe Davis tried to do just that and win Coach of the Week every week. That's not how it works. Win it once, you're ineligible. The ball gets forward. And they do take a kick towards a leading forward there, Opperman. Had a pretty good game. Smith is going to walk in and kick 3. It means little, but Smith will certainly take it. Doesn't mean as much as the one he kicked just before. His last goal had the margin at 4 points. It's now back at 31. Have a look at this in the middle of the Dartfish. It's a brilliant finish by Smith. And it won't hurt to release the pain. It won't help with any of that. Glenunga will be wondering where it all went wrong. Nathan Grimer left and they lost a lot of their structure for the start of the year. Of course, they then had Alex Guy come in. He made it 7 rounds before he was dismissed. West. Grabbed centre of the ground, should be fired forward. Little hand pass from McGill, and McGill, well, the kick's going to go back. And it ends up centre of the ground. Kick works out back to McGill. So McGill ends up with a ball. His last, I suppose, wouldn't have counted because it was a free kick. It ends back there for Allen. Allen, does he have a look? The captain's goal. Brilliant. Brilliant from Edward Allen. The rubber stamps the day. And they love him. It is absolutely clear. He's the spiritual leader of this group. He backed him in pre-season and they have delivered in spades for him. Have a look at this. Dartfish bring us all those replays and he is having a ball out there. This team, he's stuck with them and they have rewarded him in kind. 14-12-96, plays 15-12, 102, plays 9-9-63, a margin now of 39 points. O'Leary looks at his magnets. He'll also be looking at 2 points when he logs on to Play HQ later tonight and sees where his team sits on the ladder. The result at Golden Grove stays as it was at last check. It will be top, you would assume. The math there does not lie. Ball wrapped away. Higgins got it off a half back there for Spock. His game this week didn't quite line up to the game he had last week, but still he played his role. He'd be pretty happy with that. The kick goes across, it bounces in front of Bedford, but it's collected by Carlo Vasitas instead. Carlo Vasitas says, I'll have a go, why not? And he misses. He's involved in a pretty heavy collision around about 10 or 9 months ago. Right out there in the front of the centre wing. Someone will remember that as there's a blood rule here. More importantly, returning the presence. A bit of a whack on the smush for Allen. That is, of course, Charlie Variety. So he comes to the bench. Big fly there. Henry, did he have his arms chopped? Henry did have his arms chopped. And he's going to end up with the footy. 26 minutes gone in this contest. Spockos, well, they had to win. And they got the job done in the end. So the ball goes up the line. Stuart Rattray, McGill tries to get through. Fade, that's a good tackle. The letter of the law wasn't holding the ball, but he deserved to get something out of that, Dexon Fay. Ball goes up. Still they wait. Davis, kick forward. Mark there by Pridham. Pridham played in the grand final last year. Kick across towards Michaels. Towards Marini. Marini's kick then goes in towards Fay. Fay sidesteps Bedford and lights it up. Oh, maybe that's a magic moment. Brilliant work then from Fay, who just adds his name to the goal kickers list. Enjoy this, Glenunga fans. You haven't had a lot to enjoy in this second half, but that was brilliant. And a return here with the margin 10-10-70, plays 15-12, 102, a 32-point margin there. Around about 2 or so minutes, you would assume, from the end of this contest. Plus time on as the ball goes up again. Around about 30 minutes is that what that clock will count up to, as West gets it forward. Good mark as well, Wonky. And they've left their run a little bit too late, I think, to do much with. That being said, Wonky doesn't waste any time. Runs back almost. Goes through his routine. Runner comes out with some water. That's for St. Peter's though. So to get a little bit of respectability back on the scoreboard, Wonky, he's not wonky with that kick. That's a goal. Brilliant work there. Nick Wonky finds his way onto the scoreboard. And the last couple of goals here, it's a shame we don't do last goal wins in the Adelaide Footy League for Glenunga today, as they move to 11-10-76. Plays the Spockos 15-12, 102. It is a margin of just 26, as I said. Have enjoyed this on the Dartfish. Sailed it over the goal umpire's head. And gets the high five from just about everybody. We go up again. Doesn't quite get out. It's just kind of fired forward there. Long up and under. Wonky's there. Smith. Roving. Magnificent. Smith's fourth. And I'll tell you what, they're just... They're not going away, and that siren isn't coming. 20 points. They're going to have to do it again. It's going to look a little bit like the footy we all used to play as kids, where we'd run around and have 500 touches if they're going to get it done. Have a look at that. Smith gets a goal. 4 goals. Mike O'Leary, a worried expression on his face. Just a shake of the head. He'll be disappointed with how they finished, as he should be. That's certainly not impressive at all. Davis tracking back after the ball. You'd still say the Rams have left their run too late, but maybe potentially, if there is some time to be added on here, they could go and do this. Meanwhile, Edward Allen takes a good mark defensively. Up the line towards Stuart Rattray. So it was a run of goals for Spock. A run of goals to just end the game, really. It got out towards that 32-38, variated twice. And that's a pretty good mark there taken by DeSoto. Excited to see what this kid's able to do. Gets it forward in the air and over the boundary line for a throw-in. Excited to see what he's able to do. Already got a goal today. Let's see who's going to get moving. Bedford. If we kick over 30 minutes, that siren, well, just stays away. We really don't know how long's left. It makes it very hard to know whether or not Glenunga have got any time if they're able to get another quick one. Something to give the home fans in this half. They were pretty good. 9 points they led at quarter time. Then it became 3 to the Spockos, 17. Margin got as high as 39 points just moments ago. Around about 5 or so minutes. As Weeks has to turn. He was trying to get past everybody there. So the ball goes up, front of the pack, came from the back as well, did Allen. Great reading of the footy, one of his strengths. Meanwhile, free kick going the way of Wonky. Wonky moves it on pretty quickly. He's not in the mood to waste time, and he doesn't have time to waste either. As inside forward 50 it goes, but that's the siren. Time beats the Rams. How much longer they might have needed, we'll never know. But it is, in the end, St. Peter's who get the job done. They deserved it. 102 plays 82 there. A 20-point ball game They were good enough for long enough, St. Peter's, and they do get the job done. They desperately needed to do so if they are to continue that run. They may be, depending on what went on up the highway at Harpers Field, they may be top of the ladder tonight. But percentage will be hurt. They had their fourth quarter highest score cut in half, which will be incredibly frustrating for Mike O'Leary. He's walking around now just below us or just outside the van amidst the frustration. 34 points. We're going to shake the hands there of his opposition coach. 94 plays 60. That was the score at Ross Trevor. They get the job done against Broadview after they were challenged. 4-8-32 plays 10, 15, 75. Salisbury North do what they need to do. St. Peter's, as we just said, get the job done here. Sacred Heart 15-4, 94 plays 7, 9, 51. And Golden Grove and St. Peter's, Golden Grove and Port District, we don't have an update there 100%. We will get one for you. But St. Peter's will be pretty close to top of the ladder. This was the match highlights brought to you by Dartfish. Enjoy these ones, because I may go and have a little bit of a look while we do the award show at what the score is at Golden Grove. That's an excellent effort. That was the first of the day. There's West Bedford. Bedford did this 2 or 3 times, and he hurt them in the same way. Brilliant work then from him as he gets a couple of high fives from some teammates. Ball goes up. And this was, again, this was a clash of legs and a tangle of arms. It ended up going the way of Pridham. The umpire threw this one back and got the ball up. And it was a high up and under. Bang. Big mark by Parsons. That was an excellent effort. And this was when Wiseman gave it across to Smith. And Smith got it all the way through the middle. It's a bouncing ball. Brilliant effort from each team there. As Butterworth had it in the centre of the ground there. This was still early stages, first quarter. Little tap over, so clever from Opperman. And he was delighted with his own efforts. Didn't even wait for Davis to convert. He knew that was happening. This was the last Glenunga goal. This was the last Glenunga goal for the first quarter. Marini kicked that. And he was delighted. Then came a little bit of a St. Peter's surge. Higgins probably should have picked that one up. Did just that, and then DeCesare came bursting through as we go down boundary side to Adam Jeffries with the award winners.
It's chilly down here, boundary side, but it was a hot last quarter by St. Peter's. 8 goals in the first 3 quarters, 7 in the last, so well done to them. Deserved the win. It was always going to be a tough game out here on the smaller deck. They can't use their skill and run as much, but won the arm wrestle, so well done to them. Our award winners had to give our Bianco player of the day to Ty Bedford. Goal in the second quarter, I thought, but 4 magic goals for him. Well done today. Malachi Carruthers, I gave best on ground, especially early in the first 3 quarters. Not as much in the last, but I thought you were there when your team needed you early. And Ed Allen always plays well. Mosley, Barr and Kitchen, best team man. Tell us, it was an arm wrestle, wasn't it, Ed? You knew that they got plenty to play for. It's Glenunga. It was hard to find time and space, but you guys got there in the end.
Yeah, obviously a small deck. They're great in the contest, and they like to surge it forward and then get numbers around the ball. So coming in, we expected them to be strong there, and then we just had to match them and then try rebound and get them on the outside.
Yeah, well done, Ed. Too much football on half-back, making it look easy. Someone's going to have to tag you soon, I reckon, but well done to you. Now talk to us, Ty. Second quarter goal, bit of candy, snap, just when your team needed it. 4 magic goals. Well done to you today.
Yeah, I was a bit lucky with that one. Found a bit of space and, yeah, used it to my advantage and snapped it on the boot real quick.
Bit shy and a bit humble, yeah. Bit of luck involved with a fend-off candy and a snap over his shoulder. No luck involved, man. That's talent, man. Well done to you. And Malachi, talk to us. It was a tough game, wasn't it? It was not going to be easy out here, but you guys found a way and got the job done.
Yeah, we knew it was going to be a hard contest, but we fought well. We used the corridor well, which we recognised at quarter time. And from there, yeah, everyone played a role and did their thing. So glad to get it.
And tell us, prefer the shot on the run than the set shot? Talk to us.
Yeah, haven't quite got the set shot down pat yet. So maybe that's a training thing, but yeah, work on it.
Beautiful goal on the run from 50 in the second when your team needed it. But no, well done, boys. Like I said, that was an arm wrestle. Tricky coming the web in the middle of July. Get the job done. Should move to top as well. Port District's losing today, so well done to St. Peter's. Great game by then, scintillating last quarter. We'll throw back to the com box. Cheers.
Yeah, Golden Grove just was able to have a little bit of a look there. Golden Grove, excellent work there, and a massive congratulations to our award winners, Malachi Carruthers, Ty Bedford. Magic moment there, thanks to Bianco. That was in the second quarter, as Adam said, and the Moseley team man, Ed Allen. Brilliant work by all players, not only just those three, but everyone out there as well today. Golden Grove, 36-point winners over the top of Port District. That's another twist and another turn in what is going to be, for sure, an exciting season in the Division 1 competition here, brought to you by BTR Excavations. And not only were we brought to you by BTR Excavations today, but we were brought to you by Filming Footy, Sports Interactive, Classic Clashes, custom by ITC, High Five E-Bikes, Dartfish, Archie's, Jag Meatworks, Kimberley Resorts. Kieran Ayuketsu did have the scoreboard as well. Archie's, obviously, Archie's Belgravia, Bianco and Moseley all helping us with the awards. Goal of the Week brought to you by Born to Build as his Mark of the Week. Got the Snag of the Year going as well. And the Mark of the Year, this is a big prize at Moonlight Suites by Kimberley Resorts. Winner receives 3 nights accommodation in Broome. Meanwhile, the votes for the High Five e-bike, we won't reveal them on here, Adam Jeffries, but we will certainly have a look at them. That'll be revealed on Between the Posts, which you can watch on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday morning, whatever takes your fancy there. But how are those boys out there? Brilliant work, and I thought your selections were pretty good as well, Adam.
Yeah, they're a hard team to pick with St. Peter's. They're so even, aren't they? They've got so many good on-ballers, small forwards, wings. I like Carruthers' games. I thought he was there early. It was a weird game, wasn't it? If you've just tuned in and you see 102 to 82, you'd think it was a high-scoring shootout. It was a dour defensive affair. What was it, 7 goals to 6 in the last quarter. It really pumped that score up when the sting went out of the match. But I like Carruthers' game. I think it was easy with Bedford. He kicked 4 magical goals. You could have picked either one of them, couldn't you? I thought the second quarter goal was superb. And Ed Allen, he plays half-back. He's sort of known as a bit of an on-baller. He's left at half-back, and he just is able to do what he wants. And he's got a beautiful left-foot kick. The goal was the icing on the cake there late, wasn't it? He's a pretty special player for his team. So, yeah, they're an even bunch. St. Peter's, not always easy to pick. But, yeah, like I said, down at ground level, it was a tricky game. It looked easy in the end, didn't it? But it's one of those games that could have gone the other way. But well done to St. Peter's. A professional performance again.
Yeah, absolutely it was. They were really, really good. They deserved to win, I think. As much as Glenunga will say, well, no, we were in this game. They were. 100% they were in this game. But there were options and there were moments there that I think potentially Glenunga will look back and rue. You can't really blame this goal kicking because I think both teams are pretty inaccurate today. I think that's probably a fair assessment, Adam.
Yeah, again, the last quarter shootout with everyone kicking accurately late made it look a little bit different. But, yeah, like St. Peter's deserved the win. Glenunga played some pretty strong football, didn't they? You know, this is a tough competition. They're 7th on the ladder. You know, they're playing the top team. So there's not much between top and 7th. But, yeah, they're not quite the Glenunga of old, are they? They don't quite have the depth and they can't do it for long enough. They can pressure but they just don't do it, whereas we saw the last 2 years they do it for 120 minutes. They're sort of just doing it for 60, 70 minutes at the moment. And when you're playing a good team, you can't get away with it. So I think Glenunga will be safe. They just need to find another win in the next few weeks and they'll be fine.
Well, hopefully they are safe. Hopefully they get out of the zone for themselves. But someone is going to join Broadview, you would suspect, in going down. We're not quite sure who that's going to be. 5 teams are going to give us a brilliant final series. There's going to be an unlucky 6th that has to watch the September action. But that was it from us. We've already thanked our sponsors, so a massive thank you to the whole production team. It was James on the roving camera. It was, of course, Hugo sitting in the chair next to us. And Yushin on the roof doing a brilliant job giving you those wide camera shots. But Adam Jeffries, a pleasure working with you again. Don't you go on holiday anytime soon, mate. We need you.
Nah, looking forward to the finals here in Division 1. It's getting closer.
Yeah, I cannot wait. It's going to be great fun. My name's been Lockie Gould. A massive thank you to everyone who made this a possibility. We look forward to seeing you soon. And until next time, enjoy the footy.